welcome! We are Small and Mighty, and today we're going on an adventure.
Wow.
How are we all doing, gang? Guys, we have Will
Also
back!
good.
Yeah. Where there is a will, there is a
Where is Will, there is a way. We made this joke last time. We didn't know how to finish
I
it
know,
either.
I can't get over it.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie,
having listened back to last week's episode, where there wasn't a will, there apparently still was a way.
Yeah.
That was a great fight against the dragon. I loved it.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, the gang survived despite down their fighter. But yeah, how are you all doing? We all excited to get back to playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a
Very,
full
very.
party. Should
Kind of.
Chad
Yeah.
somehow return from wherever he is. But yeah. Okay, cool. So our plan today is we're going to live for 2 to 3 hours, but a short break, about an hour in. As always, this is D&D, this is improv, anything can happen, so don't hold us too tightly to those timings.
Mhm.
I have it written down here that the inspiration token is with Brask. I think this is for some excellent tactics and techniques that happened in the last fight, the dragon fight, as previously mentioned. There was a certain wombo combo with a web spell burning. And as a DM,
That
I could
was
do
good.
nothing. Do nothing but honor it in the best possible way by doing shit ton of damage to a dragon instantly. So.
Oh yeah.
Just means I've got a big note on my desk now, which is all enemies fireproof from here on
Yeah.
out.
Great.
That's okay. Nothing else is going to be made out of paper.
We'll find another.
Yeah,
we'll find another
absolutely.
one.
Yeah. More and more combos you find, the happier I'll be as a DM. It means you're paying attention to the rules. Everything
There are
fireproof.
dragons in these dungeons? Okay, I'll get this.
Sorry guys, what were we doing?
Dungeons in these dragons?
Ooh.
But yeah, so we kind of touched on it a little bit, but yeah, to recap last session, there was a big old fight, more or less the entire session. You guys, after having traversed through the labyrinth librarian, arrived at the final destination, as it were. At the very end of the dungeon, a large, expansive cavern. There was the tome you'd been searching for, titled "The Mighty Consequences of Small Prophecies." You try to grab the book using some clever trickery, and upon doing so, a magical defense or some such happened, in that the book transformed itself into a whole dragon. A very large, very scary dragon. And said something along the lines of, "If you think you're worthy of this book, bring it, bitches." And a fight broke out.
That was actually his exact words.
There was more or less his exact word. I just said it more dragon-like. But those were the actual words it said. Just in draconic, it's fun. However, you as a party were down one Chadronetheus at this point in time, because Chad, at a moment earlier, had been separated and went a different way. And for reasons that we'll recap now, Chad found himself crawling through a crack in the wall in an attempt to escape the flooding dungeon, and out into the...
We've all been there.
They've all been there. It's like, oh, there's water coming from here, so I guess I'll go through the water. And found yourself in the inky black expanse of what could only be the abyssal sea itself. Yeah. Chad made some sort of bargain, it seems, with a being you had previously encountered, this sort of weird ethereal spider creature, to escape. Reluctant at first, but ultimately when his pending doom came down to it, Chad did agree to basically let this creature take the wheel, as it were, and then Chad was sort of like a little puppet, was then started swimming away as Chad lost consciousness. We don't know where Chad is right now. But the rest
Chad
of
also gave the demon a very, very nice gift.
Yeah, as part of that arrangement.
I forgot.
Well, there you go. There was 2 parts of the agreement. The spider said it would get you out of there if you A, let it pilot you out and came out with you, whatever that means, and B, gave it to the vial of Tali's godling blood.
Yeah. Nothing wrong can come from a demon using it.
It's going to be
fine.
It's going to be
Very
fine.
good.
Fine. Best back in the dungeon. Small and Mighty, without Chad, began fighting the dragon in question. Not faring too badly against it, but after a moment, the squad of misfits arrived. down on the scene to help, notably with Baron having been put unconscious after a disagreement with the rest of the squad of misfits. The remaining 4 members banded together with you to defeat the dragon to a point where the book itself was revealed and could be taken away. And again, after a excellent combo with a web spell that was set on fire by a burning arrow from Chunk, you defeated the dragon, grabbed the book, and escaped through the collapsing portal, with Tali just spending one sort of moment to kind of look back and pray for Chad before stepping through the closing portal, which promptly closed behind you. That is where we pick up immediately with you guys emerging the other side of the portal. You return into the I can't remember what we called it. It wasn't the danger room. It was the battle room, something like that. I'll find out in a second.
The lovely room.
That room in particular.
Room of rooms.
The room of rooms. You emerge into the magical room. Actually, no, you don't technically, because it wasn't that. It was the doorway to that room was the portal as well. So actually, you emerge back into the corridor, I think.
Oh.
No, it was that room.
No, it was that.
It's been a long time
I
since
don't know.
It's almost like I'm making this shit up, guys. No, it was. Yes, it was in that room, and in that room was the gateway that you had to open with the gems for the Genesis relic. That was it. So you merge back into that. An archway behind you of swirling energy as all 7 of you bundle through it very rapidly,
Wow.
basically tripping over one another. Not as graceful as you'd hope for the group who just defeated the dragon, but you do sort of pile out, rolling over one each other, and you hear a sort of noise behind you as the wall turns to solid stone once again. You are laying there on the floor in this room. You notice that Madame Morgrave and Aerith for Christmas are not currently in the room. 3 hours having passed, it seems that they have gone. They didn't wait by the door.
They wouldn't come back for the the time we're supposed to get out of there. Before we'd be trapped there forever. They wouldn't come back for that. Okay.
Not immediately.
I
not
see how it
immediately in the
is.
room.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
But yes, you have
They're
a
just
moment.
having a cup of tea. They're just having a cup of tea.
You have a moment to yourself between you and the squad of misfits in this room.
I have a question. Because Pebble's a sheep, right?
But
Good
Yeah.
point. So as there's a moment of kind of like solemn calm, so everyone taking a deep breath, and then it's just like,
a sheep here.
as you all kind of really, everyone kicks in and goes, "Oh yeah, Pebble's a sheep."
Alright, is everyone
I-
okay?
I double check that I know. Do I know Pepple's the sheep, or do I just think we have a sheep?
Roll me
Yes.
an intelligence check.
That's how Pebble died.
Intelligence.
Oh.
Okay, 16.
16. But what, despite what would be normal brass, you did see Pebble turn into a sheep.
Oh, right.
So you do currently think Pebble is a sheep. Or Pebble got replaced by a sheep.
Oh. Spicy.
I wanna draw my. I'm gonna draw a dragon fang and like hold it at the sheep. And be like, bring him back!
Brass,
Wait. I need to change my title. It's something I need to do. But yeah, continue.
okay,
You
is
can work on
everyone,
that
is
in the
everyone
background.
okay?
The sheep just bleats at you, Brass.
Ma.
Brass is Pebble. He you know how sometimes his magic has side effects. This is the most recent one. Put the dragon fang away. He's Pebble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thought he smelled different.
Yeah.
He looks the same, but he smells different.
The only thing in Brass' mind.
There we go.
Oh, you
I'm
sort of
missing
fleshy guys look the same to me.
That's fair, I guess. Is everyone in the squad of misfits okay? Like Tali would ask.
Yeah, they you actually guys took the brunt of a lot of their attacks. I think what they did get a little bit hit by the dragon's breath, and Hesperia did get like taken into the sky and hit when it was there. But they seem largely okay. You can see themselves sort of picking themselves up. Chunk still has unconscious Baron over the shoulder.
Do you want me to just check him over?
Chunk will sort of shrug and then sort of hold him out towards you.
Can I make a little medicine check?
Yeah, go medicine check.
I mean, it's a 11.
11. 11's enough to, like, yeah, you can see he is breathing at the very least. There is a massive, like, welt on his head where, as described, he was thrown into a wall and knocked unconscious. But he is breathing. You think he'll wake up at some point and he'll clearly have an incredible headache. But nothing you don't think he deserves.
That's fine. He's fine. Who has the book?
You watch, as you say, he's fine. You watch his chunk just sort of very roughly just chucks him back onto the shoulder. Just not graceful at all. You hear the clunking of Baron's, like spotless shiny armor scraping against the stone shoulder of.
Why did you? Why were you? You said you had a disagreement with him.
Hesper speaks at this point, like, we didn't know he would planned to do what he did to you.
Oh.
And then he led us in circles. There was an argument. I won.
Well, probably for the best. And look, we all made it. Well, almost all of us made it out. So,
Yeah, Hesper kind of looks over the group and just goes, I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, I mean, he might be somewhere else, right? Like.
Yeah, you can hear kind of like a from Gable. It's just like, I think
Sure.
Madame Mulgrave said anyone who's left behind is trapped forever.
But he wasn't in the library.
What do you mean?
Well,
In the library?
before I left, I prayed, and I just know he wasn't in the library when we left. I don't know where he is, but he wasn't there.
I'm gonna roll an intelligence check for Gable to see what that means to him. Yeah, it's not a good roll. It's like, that. You can see he's just like spinning in his head about what, like, I have no idea what that could mean, but I can't imagine that's a good thing.
Well, look, where's the book?
Yeah, in terms of who has the book, it'll either be Talia or Brass, because I know there was sort of a.
Oh, I think didn't Harley grab it because Brass fell in the water and then.
Yeah, I think there was a. One of you two will have it.
It's fine.
super-
We have
Jason Momoa right into the water.
Yes. But yeah.
My man.
We'll say Talia has the book.
Fair.
You barely flopped into the water though. There was like a bam bam boom.
And then quieted my man.
Great.
So bubbly.
Yes, Talia has the book.
I mean, do we want to read it? Do we want to have a rest?
So in terms of the book itself, it is it's a fairly small book. It's not massive and it's quite thin. But you can see this is not like a well printed like tome. This is something that's been hand bound, not extremely skillfully. It has pieces of parchment, but you can see there are odd angles, like there's things being shoved in here. It looks as if this book was made and then more things has been added to it. And you can see that there's like hand stitching where it's been bound, but then additional stitches has been put through it at some point as like more has been added to it. The cover itself it's like slightly thicker pieces of like kind of wood or cardboard or something around it, but they're kind of bulging and like pages stick out, and it looks kind of manic.
Okay. I mean, like Talia will sort of open it in front of everyone else, like.
Yeah. As you open
Start
it,
from the first page.
Start from the first page. You see it is a piece of parchment, kind of stained from age, and there is ink pen on it, and it is just this kind of arcane scribbling. Like you see not words, but like symbols and runic gestures, and then words kind of going at strange angles in different languages. There is like some sort of diagram like crossing through it. Like it is not like a written diary or tome. There is some sort of like there's a madness to this. If you flick a few more pages, you see the sort of pattern continues. This is not a not like an index of like, oh, here's a prophecy, here's another prophecy. There is.
Is there any particular any language that Tali would recognize?
As you flick through it, you would, pretty much like, so you'd see every once in a while see a word in Celestial, but you probably, even at a glance, whether you know it or not, probably see, a word in Demonic, and then maybe there's an Elvish word, and then a Dwarvish word, and then like it's kind of like using all sorts, and there are even points where you'll see like a phrase or like a paragraph of text where every other word is a different language.
I don't understand. Okay.
Mm.
In terms of the runes, sorry, do they repeat in ways that make it look like there's a consistent like alphabet here?
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh. 17.
17. You skim through back and forth over a couple of pages, and the more you do, the more you kind of come convinced that there is some pattern to this madness. You do start to see like similar things, and you see like references back on itself. So you think there is some intelligence to this. You think it is some sort of like cryptology, essentially. There is a code system here meant to kind of hide what's in it. So it's one of the things where it's not something you could solve standing here right now. It would take some time to decipher. And with 17 you said you got. Yeah. You get the impression that this is not like all one prophecy. This is a book of multiple prophecies.
Yes.
And like you start to notice that there are differences. Almost every couple of pages is almost like a new prophecy of some kind. And you start flicking through them, and you start to identify, like, just not necessarily like anything about the prophecies themselves, but you start to notice like certain like pattern. Like one's very symbol heavy, one's much more word heavy, one has like a map almost, and the things like that. You start to notice that like almost like different cryptology, essentially, different like puzzles, and that kind of helps you divide it. But also on the 17th, I'll say that about midway through the tome, one of the entries, you see a phrase written in common, one of the few phrases in common that stands out to you. And it says, eponymous heroes. That some reason stands out to you.
Can you repeat, Adam? I didn't get it.
Eponymous heroes.
Eponymous. Okay. Have to search what eponymous means. The joy of being Spanish.
Brass be like reading over Tali's shoulder,
Sure.
pretending he completely understands it.
You can't read.
Exactly, like he's just looking, going.
Pebble is gonna go. Bleh.
It's weird though for Brass. Like again, this book isn't all entirely word based. So there are sort of things where maybe Brass could potentially get some meaning out of it. And we also, like, to a certain degree, like we've talked about how the Draken use these things to be called scratch marks.
Yeah.
Kind of like there probably would even be symbols in this that kind of feel similar to that as well. Like there is a chance that Brass could get some meaning out of this book if he attempted to read it, even himself.
Can I do like he's just trying to blend in. He's not really trying to read it. Can I do like a kind of passive roll to see if he picks up anything sort of accidentally?
Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation.
We'll do it with
That's pretty low for me
disadvantage because
anyway.
I'm not actively trying.
Oh, that's okay. The first
I
one
know
was
you're bad at
3.
it anyway, but okay.
Yeah, 3.
3, great. Yeah.
It's definitely paper.
There's a certain image on one page. It's kind of like a fluffy shape. More probably, realistically, it's probably a cloud, but you come convinced that that's Pebble in the sheep form.
What?
And
Right,
that him being a sheep must be related to this somehow.
How does it know?
And what happens as you start paying more like intense aware to what Tali flicks through the book, and you're starting to look for like are there any symbols that represent the rest of you? Like you get very like absorbed into this.
Tali would like upon finding the page that says eponymous heroes would go like I mean, we know what the book is. Do we know what the book is called in
Yeah,
character?
it has got a
Yeah.
title on it. Again, it's kind of this sort of handwritten. It almost feels like it has been given like a cover. It looks like almost like the cover may have been stolen from another book, in that it's got like it's the only part of this tome that has a sort of a level of like aesthetic to it. The cover is this kind of like it would have once been a reddish kind of like fabric, and there is a title, and it's been stitched into it in like a golden fabric. But it
Like,
does
flip
say
back to the front of the page, to that page with the guy like, I think, like turned around the rest of the Smitey group specifically. I think it's us. Because this word means, you know, that like this book is called the Mighty Consequences of Small Prophecies, and eponymous heroes would be a group with the name potentially Small and Mighty, which is us.
Yes.
you see Gable sort of like, yeah, I guess it is a book of prophecies. I guess it could potentially know who was going to end up coming into possession of it.
Is there any more information around like the page that has that piece written in common? Like, does that signify the start of a prophecy, or does that have any clues about?
It looks like it's somewhat
reading
near this. You get the feeling this one would eventually translate into like a phrase, like a paragraph or something, and like the eponymous heroes is somewhere near the beginning. It's not the very beginning of that phrase, but it is somewhere near the beginning. But it does seem odd to you that this phrase sticks out, like in every other prophecy here, they're almost entirely devoid of any obvious meaning at face value. This seems to be the only one that has an immediate face value, and it gets you kind of like your head's starting to spin, but you think this is put in here intentionally so that you would find it to then know it's the one you need to look at.
Okay.
Like the whole sort of prophecy part of this makes you start to wonder, like, is this meant to make us notice this so that we read it?
Yeah.
While you're contemplating that and Gable says, Raz goes, does make it seem kind of pointless that we even went then, doesn't it?
Oh.
If it's already been prophesied that you were meant to get the book.
Well, you were really helpful with the dragon.
Well, I guess that is that, yeah.
So, thanks.
I don't know. I think we would have handled it, but all right. Yeah. Great job, guys.
Pebble says,
Gable's doing what he
"Bah."
can. No, actually, you can see Chunk sort of like nods. And Gable's like, yeah, glad to, be of help and I guess undo the rocky start we had. At this point, you hear the door to this room open as emerging into the room is Era for Christmas and Adam Morgrave. Ah, I see you have returned. She quickly scans out the room like, I see, not all of you have returned. Please, let's come upstairs. I can give you drinks, food, whatever you need, and let's discuss what events unfolded. Did you find what you were looking for? That is a comfort, at least. Quick, upstairs, let's discuss. So you are led upstairs, unless any of you refuse for any reason, and brought up into one of the sitting rooms. And you hear an order is put in with the steward, the bust of this sort of that elven gentleman, and at some point, drinks and snacks and food, etc., is brought along to you. Probably actually more like a meal, kind of like a comfort meal where you can kind of eat and pick at it in like not around a table, but yeah. And what do you tell to Madame Morgrave and Era for Christmas?
Ooh.
I think But Braska's kind of understood that Chad wasn't left there, but also that Chad's not with us, so he just doesn't know where he is. He's not really he doesn't not necessarily registered that Chad might be in danger. So I think he would probably be like, he would probably ask if he's here, or if anyone can do like a sort of location-y, magic-y thing to find him.
Yes, when you ask if he's here,
But he would say that with a mouthful. He would
Yes.
be filling his cheeks as he does it.
not smiling.
Everything's right.
Yeah, Eris's was like, we haven't seen him, dearie. He's not returned to the house, as far as I know. And you see that Madame Morgan just sort of shakes her head. No, he's not here. Last we saw him was when he entered the Labyrinth Review.
Look, it's fine. When we've had a rest, I can send him a message and see where he is.
You are obviously welcome to do that. Just be prepared for the worst if he had been lost in that realm.
He wasn't in there.
What do you mean?
When we were leaving, Tali waited and prayed, Tintin, and I just know he wasn't in the library. Also, so as far as what Tali relays, she would relay basically everything as happened, aside from Trad trying to eat Christina. We leave that part
Don't
out
forget that.
for now.
That's fair.
But would look, so that all happened, and do either of you know anything, any information or any recorded information about the kind of, I don't know what the word for it is, this creature that lives in the library? I don't know if they're a demon or
You described the spider thing, yeah?
yes.
That's what
It
I
said it
checked
lived
for.
there. It said it lived there, but how could it live? How could anything live there if it gets destroyed? Right?
Well, the realm doesn't get destroyed. It just the realm is locked away until the door is open once again.
But it fills up with ink.
So a being who does not need to breathe, eat, could survive. The creature you're describing, I'm not familiar with it, but then I have not. You've seen what it takes to unlock that realm. It is not something that I have ever been in.
Sure, I just
were-
think a creature like that might have existed for a long, long time.
Potentially, yes. That's the point I was going to come to saying, is the realm serves multiple purposes. It is a vault of sorts, largely used for knowledge, but there's every chance it might have been used to trap the creature there, potentially for the knowledge they contain, potentially because they were too dangerous. Hard to say. Again, the realm was created by our mother. Her reasoning was hard to fathom at times. Mad as she was, it is very possible that she bound a creature to that realm. Or could it be even part of the reason the realm was created in the first place? I can only speculate as to why the creature was there, but from what you are describing, it sounds either it's demonic in nature or it is an aberration of some kind. It would be hard to know without seeing it. Both of those beings are able to survive indefinitely, but can also take on multiple forms. The being of a spider is a nightmarish creature for some.
Well, I don't
be-
think it was a shapeshifter as such, because I have a spell that I believe it can reveal the true nature of such creatures who change their form.
Change the form is not, although it is in the wheelhouse of aberrations and demons, doesn't necessarily A shape changer is obviously someone who can change their shape at will.
What is a
I
being who
mean
can
more
change form,
demons
not-
and aberrations. They are formed into a shape, and that becomes their shape.
Oh, I see.
So if it's a creature that has become, they can take on the vision of something else, and that can be their plan. Like they are both demons and aberrations are both creatures created out of mortal dreams and nightmares and souls.
Yes, yes.
They take on a form, and their forms can be myriad.
But does that not make them a shapeshifter? If they shouldn't.
Not if
shift.
that is their, not if that
Shape.
is their true form.
I see. I see.
If for argument's sake we say this is an aberration, if it is the essence of nightmares or spiders, then that would be the form it would take. It would not be a shapeshifter, but it could be. Aberrations are very hard to quantify, identify. There are many who have tried to ascertain common patterns and threads across aberrations, and many who have tried have gone mad in the process. But there are, to some degree, common traits between sort of categories of aberrations that work. They are very malleable, but the point I'm making is you could have two aberrations who are largely the same category, but they could look vastly different from one another. The nightmarish incarnation of spiders would look very different to the nightmarish incarnation of drowning, even if the actual aberration at its core is more or less the same entity.
Wow. I mean, but.
Oh, Pebble is a sheep.
Hello.
Is this something
I'm
that can
Baba.
just that will wear off by itself, or is there something?
You can see Madame Morgrave pulls out like a stopwatch and like a pocket watch. Sorry. Like, if that is a polymorph effect, which I imagined it should be wearing off the next couple of minutes. I imagine. She closes
Oh,
this pocket watch. The whole time, like Pebble's been like chewing on one of the sofas.
No, I imagine that. Come on, the butler must have, conditioned the
Morals?
meal towards, exactly, yeah, provided.
Yeah, okay. You probably they're trying to entice you
First,
away
I
from.
started chewing on a sofa, but
Yeah, they entice you away from chewing on the sofas by
Fair
like,
enough.
some like some vegetables and stuff. But
fair enough.
you, there's still some bite marks in some sofas.
Beautiful.
Well, Tali thinks Tali will go to bed soon.
Before you do, can we speak of the tome? Have you looked at it at all?
Ah,
Would have-
Yeah, we looked at it. It seems to have some sort of. Well, there's multiple prophecies in it. And they seem to have some kind of a cipher. They're encoded, which would make sense to protect them. They all seem to be different, and she showed examples. There seem to be different ones. There is a page, flicks a page that says eponymous heroes, which is this, which Tali thinks is us.
You can see she kind of contemplates, like, I think given the nature of the prophecies and fates and destinies entwined in this, if you were drawn to that phrasing, I think it is very likely it was intended for you.
So
That, to me, suggests that is where efforts should be started in deciphering.
indeed, Tali plans to have a rest and then get to working on this.
She
And
looked
people,
at, like,
anyone who wants to help can help. Like just to Gable, who might want to assist,
Yeah.
or to anyone, anyone.
You can see Gable look quite excited by the promise. I'd be happy to help her. Absolutely. Just let me know when. Yeah.
Does Pebble understand?
As a sheep, no.
Damn it.
Because you have the intelligence of a sheep. However, at this point, you do turn back into Pebble form. However, you all look around and you see that Pebble has finished the plate of vegetables and had gone back to chewing on the sofa. So Pebble, you kind of reform into a hobgoblin thing, mouth on a piece of sofa, like, ha.
Hi.
Hi.
What happened?
You became a sheep for a little bit.
That doesn't trigger any trauma in me at all. I'm
Not permanently this time, though, at least.
sorry.
I said at least it wasn't permanent this time.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Is everyone okay? Well, wait. So
So probably at this
Pebble.
point, like, because your intelligence has been reduced, the sheep's intelligence, and you've now come back. At this point, it would probably dawn very heavily on Pebble that Chad isn't here. And
Yeah.
although it's not like you didn't know Chad wasn't here, it probably really starts to really sink in. Like,
Yeah.
what
Like oh.
the consequence of that is and the impact of that is.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. Any good news about the book, at least?
Probably would repeat
Yeah, for sure.
all of the information that has
Yeah.
been currently
Mm.
no, I was gonna tell me, I don't know what it was. It's gone out of my brain. Oh no. So she'd probably tell it, Christina, you can make copies of books of things, right?
Yeah, I can absorb them into my amulet.
Is it like, if you do that, do we keep this one and you get one, or do you take this one? Can I have
No.
this one back?
And I think, yeah, you can have it back.
It's practically like a photocopy or a scanner, essentially. It's you kind of scan it across it, this light goes across it, and then you get a copy inside your amulet, and then a physical one exists as well.
Does it take very long? Like, could we do that? It's a very important book, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to it, so that it would be really useful if you could have a backup.
I can sort you out, girlfriend. Just
So you pull out the amulet,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Pull out the amulet, and there's like this blue light shines from it, and you kind of like probably like scan it across it,
Oh,
and you
neat.
can see like almost like a ghostly copy of the book sort of like comes out of the book and then
Oh.
shrinks and goes into the amulet. And as you know, Christina, back in that oasis little beach hut of yours, there is now a bookcase there which is starting to have books appear in it that you've copied. So
Very cool.
I'm gonna make sure it didn't get jammed and go into the amulet.
That's a good idea.
I've
you
got
watch
a.
as Christina immediately goes, turns into that kind of
Oh,
blue
bye-
jelly, goes
bye.
loop into the.
I think
Uh,
Chrissy's also delirious, and that's maybe influenced by real life. So, long rest for Christina, and maybe a little cheeky
Can
read.
you stay in there for the full 8 hours for a long rest?
Not for 8 hours. I think it's still like
It's
4 or 2 hours.
4 to 6.
I'll go. We can put Christina's amulet in the bed
Yeah.
that Christina has in
Yay!
Then she'll
so
pop
that when
back
she
out.
wakes up, she'll
Yeah.
be in bed.
You all watch as the amulet. She sucks herself in the amulet. Just goes clunk to the floor. Which is one of the things where now that you know this is one of the Genesis relics, it does make you, Tali, specifically a little bit nervous.
Okay, catch it.
As there's just a Genesis relic now just sat on the floor.
I'll grab it as well. I'll take it to her room. Tali will take the amulet
Fair
to
enough.
Christina's room. It's fine. Tali's gonna go to bed now. She stands up. Is there anything else you need?
No, I think you all deserve a rest.
Mhm.
So you'll reconvene in the morning around the breakfast table, and we can discuss what comes next. For both Small and Mighty and the squad of misfits. And she looks across, and Baron isn't in the room anymore. Baron has been taken off to his bedroom.
We don't have any particular card again.
Oh, you're breaking.
What they did, and like looks at Gable. In the end, they were very helpful with the dragon, and it wouldn't have been as easy without them. So, thanks.
Neat.
You see, Hasby just gives you a solemn nod across the room. And then, yeah, you'll make your way to the dormitories of this kind of like mansion / school.
Harley is taking the book with her.
You take the book, and you also
Sleep
yeah,
with her
yeah.
under her pillow. Drops Christina off on the way.
That is fair. Is there any last things everyone does as they prepare to sleep?
free.
Brask, he'll do. Gonna kind of give the whole castle a once over
Mhm.
in terms of trying to sniff out Chad.
Okay. Give me a perception check as you kind of wander the mansion, trying to sniff out Chad.
10.
10. You kind of go on a bit of a wild goose chase as you kind of smell like Chad was already here, less than 3 hours ago, and your sense of smell is very strong. So you end up like you smell Chad, but what you come to realize is that's from when Chad was here earlier, and you end up going on a bit of a wild goose chase. You kind of sort of smell probably his scent from like in the training room or something like that. So you spend a bit of time searching around and ultimately don't find him. It's kind of like frustrating that every which way you end up finding a scent, but it always ends up leading back to that doorway that leads to the labyrinth.
That's sad.
Tali, you pray before you go to bed. What are you praying?
Just that for intent to keep Chad safe wherever Chad is, and if they have any more, if they could find out where he is, that would be helpful. And just don't really know what to do.
Okay.
Just a bit of a yeah.
Make me we'll call it a wisdom religion check as you pray out.
Ooh. A wisdom religion. So use my wisdom. But then if I have
basically any wisdom
I
or
have proficiency. Yeah, so it's fine. It's the same.
As long as you're proficient in religion.
Yes. 20, not natural.
Amazing.
Super
So
cool.
yeah, you pray out. There is no like response or immediate as per always with Intin. But you have this sort of hope in your heart. And like despite the warnings of Gable and Madame Wargrave, they both seem to think it was almost worse that Chad wasn't in the labyrinth anymore. You can't help but hold this sort of nugget of hope that because he made it out of the labyrinth, hopefully he can make it out where he is now, and hopefully make it somehow back to the group and back to safety.
Yes.
And you actually do find a somewhat peaceful sleep, holding on to that sense of hope. Like whether the prayer itself has helped, done anything personally or not, you're not sure, but it does seem to give you personally some comfort as you find a restful and well-earned rest.
I have something that Gable and Madame Wargrave don't have. I have faith.
Ah,
Yay!
you have.
Faith,
But she
faith,
sleeps with the
faith.
book. Indeed.
Yes. Very nice.
The book is under her pillow. She
Yeah.
probably wakes up periodically, regardless, to make sure it's still there. Very anxious about this book.
That's fine.
But has a
Mine-
good sleep nonetheless.
Yeah, you are in anxious tally mode. Like, there's only so
Yes.
much we can do. Cool.
Long rest.
So, yes, Brask, Pebble, Tali, and Christina, you all have a long rest. Feel free
Very
to click the
nice.
rest button.
Wow.
Hell yeah!
Most beautiful, but reset maximum HP changes during the
Yes.
That's the one, yep.
everything. Yeah.
Chadronetheus.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Yeah.
As we last left you, you were surrounded by pitch black, inky dark ocean with a vague sense of massive, like cathedral-sized creatures swimming around you, and that voice vaguely in
way
your
I like
head,
it.
vaguely nearby you, offering you salvation through a deal. You, in your last moments of consciousness, your breath having left your lungs, said agreed to this creature. Agreed to let it take control of you for temporarily, agreed to help bring it back into the real world, and agreed to give it the vial of godling blood. And then your consciousness faded as you felt yourself being puppeteered, swimming through the dark ocean. You wake up. The weirdest and worst nightmare you've ever fucking had. Eyes are blurry as you kind of scan around your location. You feel a soft-ish bed beneath you. Roll me a perception check.
would help if I was on the right thing on my thing. Perception. There you go.
What's the right thing on your thing?
Oh, 4.
Wow.
Your eyes are bleary and weird. Like it's like you know, like after you've been sick for a while, and then you have one of those sleeps where you sleep for like 14 hours.
Mm.
You wake up
Bend that.
delirious, and it's that thing of that mixed with like, you know, when you travel, you stay in a hotel for a night and you have that kind of jet lag sleep as well, and you wake up and you suddenly realize you're not in your bedroom, you're in another room.
Mm.
That's what's happening to you right now, Chad, as you kind of like stumble out of your bed and your brain is like, oh, I must be in the room at the mansion. And that's when you trip over a crate of leeks. And you suddenly dawns on you that you are in your bedroom at the Five Fellows.
Oh!
You hit the floor, and that's when and you look up, and there's sunlight blaring through the window of your bedroom. You have a splitting headache and the weirdest fucking dream. Yeah. You can hit that you've had a long rest as well, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. That's the most important. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's what matters,
A
really.
hungover, long rest, but I
Take a
long
long
rest.
rest.
I have so many questions right now, but I'm gonna shut up.
Long rest. What is this dream that I'm just woken up from?
You went to some sort of like everyone else. You went to like this magical mansion that was kind of like decrepit, then became real. You met Christine's grandmother.
Okay,
there
so
was like
as far as I'm concerned, all of the Mulgrave Manor stuff
exactly.
was a dream.
There was this other rival squad. There was a guy, you kind of hated him, kind of liked him.
My subconscious was really projecting some stuff during that.
Then you went to this like magical dungeon. There was books, and then flooded. Then there was a dark ocean. Weird fucking dream. And it's one of those dreams where like it's almost like disconnected, spotty things. In the way your dreams are sometimes like, oh, I went to a mansion, and then it flooded. Like it almost like the pieces aren't connected, but they're all there.
Yeah. Interesting. Was this one of the because it's been a while. I don't think we have stayed in the Five Fellows since the fire. Was Chad's room one of the rooms that was damaged by the fire?
Your room was one of the rooms that did catch fire, and it's one of the things where you look around and you notice that there is some burn damage in the room. Now, you know that repairs were happening, but you do still actually start to see some scorch marks. You're like, okay. And this is where things start to get a bit like, oh, hold on a minute. I thought that happened in the
What? I don't...
Oh, wait, I think the fire was in the dream as well.
That wasn't really part of the dream, but you're starting to kind of get this weird question, like, you know you haven't slept here since the fire. Yeah. Now you're starting to question why you're here.
Yeah.
Things are starting to get a bit weird.
Yeah. Okay.
I love this.
Okay. Do I remember? Did my dream involve the spider thing?
Yeah, you're pretty sure there was some sort of spider in the dream.
Some sort of spider. Okay. Chad's gonna do some push-ups.
Sure. Okay.
Because that's what he does when he wakes up. It's how he gets up. He's gonna take his. Oh yeah. What's he wearing? He was full plate armor when he was in the library.
Yeah. And as you kind of like start to like, oh, I'll do some push-ups. That's when it dawns on you you're wearing your armor.
Right. Are there any ink stains?
Rob me another. Do perception or investigation check.
They're both +0. Haha! I do not see anything. Natural 1.
Natural 1.
Oh my God.
You're starting to like. It's one of the things where your brain is trying to answer what's going on, and you're like, must have got drunk last night. We must have had like. Maybe we celebrated surviving the pub being on fire by having a bit of a piss up. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And you're starting to like justify things in the wrong way. You're like, I don't know why I was wearing my armor. Whatever, it's fine. and you go to take your like push-ups. Push-ups are what matters.
Yeah, push-ups. Probably one of the beams. If there's like beams like in the thing, probably do some pull-ups on one of them, and
It doesn't.
all that other stuff.
It's weird. It doesn't actually stand out to Chad as being weird in the moment because you're starting to just like almost like brush everything off as like, it must be because I'm drunk or something must have happened. But as you're taking your arm off, you do weirdly find that parts of your armor are covered in spider webs. Whatever, just get rid of that. Must have fallen in.
Well, it's an old building.
It's an old building.
Careful, those are flammable.
The fire, the fire will have like some of the spiders
dislodged
will
them
have,
or
moved
something.
around, and that's all fine. And am I able to gauge the time of day? So there's daylight coming through through my
it's morning.
window.
So, like, you can see
It's
like
the
kind
morning.
of the sunrise and go through because you get up very early.
Okay.
In fact, if anything, this is kind of a little bit late for you to kind of wake up. You're like, sunrise. I'm behind.
Yeah.
Good question. Did Chad woke up in Chad's room, right?
He's in Chad's room.
Is Chad's bed still in Chad's room? Because
you were
I don't know
sleeping
if
in
we
his room,
moved.
weren't you?
Was that okay? I don't remember which way around.
Because Tali's room is in the loft.
Yes.
I think you were sleeping in Chad's
That's
room.
fine.
Yeah, true.
Never mind. I'm not here.
Cat's gonna check under his pillow for one of Tali's dream catchers. Is it under pillows that they go?
I think they were like
they
hung
hang on
up.
the
You,
wall.
yeah, but either
Hung
way,
up,
it's,
yeah. Is there one of Tali's dream catchers?
I assume Tali did give him one.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
we took it to the mansion.
About to say, you took him to the mansion. So yeah, Chad, you go to look and no, it's not there, and you're like, not there.
Interesting. Why wouldn't that be here? Okay. So that's him thinking that. Chad's gonna head down. He's not putting on a shirt. You know, he never does. He's gonna head downstairs, see if there's any food, see who's up.
You go downstairs and it's kind of strange. Like you usually are, up before the rest of your companions largely. I think anyone who might get up at similar times to you usually is Brask, and you're kind of like, oh, Brask is even having a lie-in this morning. Like it's you walking down, and though as you get downstairs, the pub is quiet. Still, you can see the repairs going on, like had been going on. It's getting better shape than it was, but it is closed up for had been for the night. You do hear the sounds though of noises coming from the kitchen, as clearly our lovely gnomish cook is back at work in the kitchen.
Excellent.
Good old Helga.
Good old Helga. Chaz, before he's gonna go and disturb Helga, he's just gonna. Is the door locked? Can he get out? Can he open the front door of the?
So it is locked, but locked from the inside, so you could easily.
From the
Basically, it's just like almost bolts more than anything else.
Chaz is just gonna kind of unbolt it and just have a look around outside, see if anyone's like waiting. Maybe he's late for a mission and everyone's already suited up outside.
Yeah. I see. Sort of like you can open the door slightly, or like even like move on the shutters or like that, and you peek outside and you just see the streets. There's a couple, people out there starting to make, the sort of early risers who go to work in the factories or merchants moving about, but you don't see your companions anywhere.
Okay. Interesting. And the outside of the building still looks like it's had a big fire and is being.
Yeah, if you
repaired.
actually like step out into the street and have a look around, again, it's starting to get repaired. It's better than it was because again, in as we last got to describe it, a couple of days has passed and Bachard was starting to get it repaired, but you can definitely still see marks of like burn parts. Essentially, the bits where the parts that were very heavily damaged were replaced first. The parts that were lightly damaged either won't be replaced or will be replaced last. So you can see the parts where the light sort of like charring is, where it may just a paint job might be all that's needed, but that hasn't happened yet, and you can see that. Go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as you kind of return inside, you can see, dressed in like a sleeping gown and one of those big floppy caps, you can see Bachard at the top of the stairs, like, "Oh, morning, Chad. I didn't think you were you're in at the moment.
Yeah, morning, Bertie. Yeah, I'm definitely here, present. Yeah, where else will I be? This is our base of operations, our your home away from home.
I didn't see you come in. I locked up last night, and you were still out, so I assumed you were out and about doing something else for the night. Is everyone in?
Right. Well, I assume so. I've not seen anybody else, but yeah, I guess we're all
Oh,
here.
he's just sort of like, you can see he still looks quite thin and like sickly from when obviously he's still got the Tyler, you told everyone
Grey
about
mark.
him. You know he's got the kind of grey mark.
Yo, we're gonna get the cure. We're on the cure. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, fine. He was also tortured, so like he doesn't look
Yeah.
completely well still. And he was like,
Yeah.
I've been through a lot. I must have just missed it. All right, we'll get some breakfast going then. And you see, he kind of makes his way back upstairs to go get actually dressed. Like you get the impression he heard a noise that he wasn't expecting and came down to investigate.
Right.
And
Yeah.
seeing you, he's relieved that it's not like bandits or something again. As he walks
Yeah.
upstairs, you can see he's holding his shotgun.
Ooh.
You know, used to live behind the bar, but it doesn't seem like it lives behind the bar anymore.
Yeah.
He takes that back upstairs with him and basically gets ready to make some breakfast for what he assumes is the entire gang.
Yeah. Where I always forget where are the washing facilities in the Five Fellows?
There'd be upstairs somewhere. There'd be a room on the first floor. They haven't truly defined that, to be fair, so
That's fine. Chad's gonna go and sort of wash a bit and have a nice time with it while breakfast is being made.
Yeah.
And one other thing then is occurring to him that actually he also just needs to pay a little visit to the basement. And just remind himself because now he's sort of doubting everything. Just remind himself what the situation is down there. I don't think he's.
Yeah.
No,
So
did he go back?
You have actually dealt with it with Burchard.
I have actually dealt, but as far as he is concerned, that was all in a dream.
You're starting to really question everything, but you do eventually go down there to kind of check on things, and you see there's still some bloodstains on the floor, but there's no person or body down there. And as you kind of make way for the kitchen to get there, you see Helga is busy at work making breakfast. But it does sound as weird, like Pebble normally helps with this. Why is Pebble not here?
Yeah.
That you're like, Pebble never misses opportunity to make a big meal.
Yeah. Helga. Hi, Chadronetheus, Vertine, the third. You can call me Chad. I don't know if we've actually met before. Pebble's normally about. Is he not up yet?
This being one of your first interactions with Helga, Chad wouldn't really be aware, but you do sort of ask these questions, and you get a complete blank response as Helga just continues chopping vegetables.
Oh, nice morning for the cooking, isn't it? Good, excellent conditions for the Arga. Yeah. Anywho, see you a little bit later. Bye.
Yes. One-sided conversation over. Where do you head next? You can see Burchard. If you make him in sort of the common room, you can see Burchard has got the table laid out and is ready for like seating everybody.
How are you? Well, how are you? Burchard?
You can see like he was busying himself like laying this table out, but when you ask like the genuine question, it does sort of seem to cut through a guy he'd sort of thrown up, and he sort of like he looks up at you and like, I'm alright, Chad. Got some pains in places I didn't used to, but happy to be back and doing things again. And I might not have been here if it wasn't for you guys.
Well, don't lift anything heavy. get Brask and I if we're around. Get Brask and I to do it. I'm sure he'll be down in a bit if you've got any sort of big tables or anything that needs moving, or barrels or things. We're big and strong. I mean, I'm probably the stronger of the two of us, but he can still help if you really need to do some stuff. Just it's for your sake really, but but we're both very strong, and I'm particularly me.
He sort of you can see he's smiling at this inane conversation, like happy to be having an inane conversation with you again. Probably goes over Chad's head, that part, but you obviously more from an audience point of view. But he doesn't go, actually, what would be pretty alpha if you could actually go and wake the rest of them? It's a bit weird they're not down yet, but breakfast will be ready soon. If you go get them round, that'd be handy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's a bit odd that they're not all here. It's particularly odd that Tali wasn't in my room. Yeah.
Was Bajaj supposed to know that?
Chad's saying that out loud. Does Bajaj know that? Well, not that there's anything happening.
Cringe.
But yeah.
Roll me an insight check.
Insight.
Yeah.
I love it.
8.
Chad is so up in his own head that he doesn't even clock how or if Bajaj responds to that.
Cool. Good.
Oh,
Good.
great.
I would have
Fantastic.
expected Tali at least to know. Right, hang on. Okay, yeah, I'll be right back.
It's like we all live with our. It's like we all live with our dad. And there's all this awkward
Yeah. What happens under my roof? Cool. So Chad's gonna. I can't remember. I haven't got the map in front of me. What layout of whose room I'm likely to get to first, but I'm gonna go through and.
You work your way through the rooms of your companions.
Yeah.
Whether politely knocking or opening doors, you quickly come upon
just
the
opening
realization.
doors.
You quickly come upon the realization that they're not here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. Good. It's gonna go back down as he's sort of gonna get more and more frantic as he sort of opens up more of the rooms and sort of go down. Bertrand. Where is everybody? I know that you asked me that question a little bit earlier today, and I said that they were all here. Nobody seems to be here, and I'm now. I popped outside for about 30 seconds. Maybe they all came downstairs when I was there.
As you're having this conversation, you see the whole breakfast table has been laid out with platters of food. You're like, no one is here. You see Bajaj sitting at the table like, I don't know, Chad. You all disappeared after dinner a couple of days ago. I think you were going out on some mission or some such, not one from us, but you lot are busy chasing down leads and dealing with the messes and stuff like that. I just assumed you were busy.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah, it's been
Where did we say we were going?
You didn't actually.
Well, we have since Brask had gone back to grab
before you
some
say
stuff.
anything more, I want to. Yeah, you have been back and forth. It's been a couple of days. You've been going back and forth. Brask
And Tali
Charlie
would have asked Brask to check in on Butchard to make sure he was fine and tell him we're gonna be away for
Yeah. So he knows you're away. He doesn't know where you are though.
Yeah, we didn't tell him that for his own safety.
Yes.
Because we will get kicked out of the school if we tell him.
Right.
Whether Chad remembers that, that's a different thing.
That is a different thing, because right now Chad doesn't know what he does remember.
Could I roll an insight check
Absolutely.
to see? We're approaching the point at which Chad's going to start putting two and two together about.
Yes. Roll me an insight check
realism of it.
with advantage on yourself / the situation.
That's a natural 20.
Okay.
Good.
There we go.
Good. Thank
This
you.
is where you
Yeah.
kind of have this moment of your brain goes back to that dream you had, and you're like, oh, I don't think that was a
Yeah. Oh.
And you very specifically also,
Right.
in all of that, do remember the part we were talking about here, which is you're not allowed to talk about the mansion to anyone who's been invited to the mansion.
Yes.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I've actually just remembered. But gee, everything's fine. And I'm sure they'll be along in a moment. And I just need to just pop into town and get something sorted. This is all fine. I have to leave pretty much right now. He's just gonna like quickly assemble like a breakfast sandwich of like bacon and egg and stuff, and then sort of try and go out the door, and then realize he's not wearing his armor, and he's like got the sandwich in his mouth, and he's gonna like sort of dash upstairs, get his armor and stuff back on, and get the. Yeah, I'll be right. We'll all be here for you eat without us. It's fine. Yeah. Don't wait.
100% absolutely roll me an inside check. Sorry, roll me a deception check. He's gonna
Oh,
inside.
good, yeah. 14.
14.
Ooh.
Cool. He rolled a natural 20.
Hey! I'm not surprised.
Yeah, as he was like shoving through you, awkwardly running around. He's like, he just looks at you, he's like, why don't you take some for the rest of them?
Do you have a hamper or a bag I could?
You see, he awkwardly stands up and goes off and goes and finds something, and the best
I'll
he can
carry
do,
it for you.
he comes back with like a bunch of like cheesecloths and then like a potato sack, and he starts like
Nice.
wrapping up like pieces of bacon
Yeah.
in his cheesecloth and like shoves it in the sack and like, it's not graceful, but it'll do.
Yeah. But thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good life.
Good day. Yeah.
And he sort of sits down. There's the table has now like largely been like all the food's been taken away. He sits at the big table and starts eating his own breakfast
Aw.
by himself.
Oh, bless.
Gets a newspaper out though, as always, and stuff. You know.
Mhm.
So you make your way across town, I assume, to the mansion.
Yes, but before that, Chad's gonna immediately after kind of going outside, is gonna find somewhere quiet,
Okay.
like an alleyway or something, and it's gonna stop. And when he knows he's away from people, he's gonna say, "Hello." Is there a big spider thing in my head? Spider demon? Hello? I've got a lot going on at the moment. I just need to establish. No? Okay.
Make me a perception
fine.
check.
Yeah. I assume as well, I'm also going to. That's a 9.
9.
Also, just going to double check if I have the vial of Tully's blood on me.
So we'll start with the volatile. You do kind of check that, and yeah, that is gone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which, if anything, really confirms that all the dream was yours. With that perception check, though, you don't hear or sense any being around you or inside you or whatever it is as you speak out. And then the silence is broken by a voice sort of down to the side. As you turn around, you see what looks like a hobo man. He's like, sounds like you need some hooch. So just has his drink.
Yes, you're right. It does, doesn't it? Thank you very much.
This is some
Just
strong
gonna drink
stuff.
the whole thing and give him
Yeah.
back the empty bottle.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Blah, some strong stuff. Like, get a hold of yourself, Chad. Blah.
Yep.
And you start.
Then
Yeah.
Chad's gonna make his way to.
You
to-
start. You
to
hoist
the
your sack over your shoulder, and like a bacony Father Christmas, you start making your way across town
Father
to the mansion.
Is it just loose like breakfast food in a sack, or is it like wrapped up into?
It's all wrapped up in like cheesecloth and like
Okay,
napkins and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is a giant bag full
Oily.
of things like fried eggs and bacon.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah.
a organized or really a sensible idea, honestly. But
But we've all played the pizza missions in Spider-Man 2, where if you flip it, it like scramble. Yeah, it's that inside this bag.
yes, it is
I
not
love
a
the
good
song.
thing, and I can't really imagine Chad being that careful, honestly. So it's
Yeah.
all like there's sort of weird stains marks starting to appear in this potato sack, and I mean,
just
you
gotta
also the
hope
fact
they're
that the
scrambled
potato sack
eggs.
alone is like there's probably also like bits of like dirt starting to get anyway.
Yeah.
But Bichard didn't really want to let things, at least try not to let things go to waste. So, yeah, you start making
Yeah.
your way across town, like again, at Bacon Eve, Father Christmas, and I think that's where we'll take our break as you start, tailing it across the town to the mansion.
Very good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
What a twist! What a twist!
twist.
Yes.
dear.
See you in a
But
bit.
yes,
Yes.
so we're back at make it 2:25.
Okay. See you.
10
Bye
minutes.
bye.
Bye.
And we're back.
Yes.
Just want everyone to know that we were confusing Unai during the countdown by shouting random numbers at him.
7.
Well, first he asked us to count down, and then we all said different numbers. So
Yeah, we all
you know.
took
Which
the
is
opportunity
good.
to do the countdown, but all start on
Yellow.
different numbers.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's some of the funs we have here at
Wow.
Small Amount of Games.
Well, we're
Endless.
weak.
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. This is how we spend our breaks, just shouting numbers at Unai.
Never a
We've
dull
been doing it since the
moment.
very beginning, but you know. We just
1,000.
Yeah. Today we've hit like 2 million and it's been a landmark.
We've just been counting up every single break since we started.
Yeah.
It's getting real hard,
So-
guys. Quite a lot of effort, actually. Right, we pick up. We will jump back to the Moorgrave Manor. Small and mighty, you'll wake up. Christina, you find yourself resting peacefully in your bed at the manor as you, at some point, after having travelled to your oasis, passed out in a peaceful slumber and have woken now back in the manor as you were transported back at some point during the night. But yeah, all of you have peaceful sleeps, restful, dreamless,
Neat.
well, not like nightmareless, I should say, more sleeps. And you awake to the smell of cooking. As the
Yeah.
house fills up the smell of breakfast being cooked.
Yes. Double breakfast.
Imagine
We can see where this is
Tali
going.
gets up early and then
Yep.
goes to breakfast with the book, and she's
Mhm.
like eating, but she's making a start on this book.
Yeah, okay,
This is how we cope with losing Chad. We just do other stuff. It's fine.
that's fair.
Yeah, yeah. Been there.
Yeah, you first start to kind of power through it. What is your intelligence level out? Just score.
Oh, well, hold on. I have a question about this.
Okay.
So, my intelligence score is 13.
Okay.
But, I don't know what the roll. I don't know if this is a little mitigate me, but I have spells that can help me here. I have borrowed knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably find a book that's expensive in this library.
Yeah.
For
not
the
worried about that.
material component of the spell.
Yeah. So what this is going to work out to be will be an investigation check ultimately. So you are welcome to apply anything that would improve that.
So yeah, a skill in which you lack proficiency, and then you get
Mhm.
proficiency in it. That's perfect. Let's do that.
Well, on that note, well, obviously Christina's got a copy of the book.
Yeah.
My intelligence is 80.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would make sense for Christina to get up and then start reading.
Team effort.
Yes. So
Very nice.
do you go down and read the one with Tali that she's reading in the breakfast hall, or do you sort of go into your amulet again and start reading the one in your amulet? And
I'd
sort of
have
divide
to
and
go-
conquer?
Do I have to go into the amulet to get to the book?
Yeah, so the books are that you don't create a physical copy of it. It's like a digital copy in a way that says
Yeah.
it exists only in your amulet, so you can read it there.
I mean, if you have like crazy sharp vision, don't you see like the island if you look at the amulet? Imagine trying to see like the letters of a book in
Get a
there.
little tiny magnifying
Like,
glass and try and read the book through the amulet. But yeah, so Christine, are you gonna go work with Tali in the breakfast hall, or are you gonna spend time in the amulet reading?
I'll probably just be like, get up and then go right back in again.
Okay.
Alright.
So you're
I
gonna
mean,
start
I
looking
assume you might come downstairs and we would just like you'd be like, I'm gonna go in my amulet and do that. I'm like, great. So then we have to know what we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's tag team it. Be like,
Teamwork.
Thank
Cool.
you. That's fine.
Pebble is
Would
gonna
you-
watch attentively, trying to help, but he's not very
That's fine.
well versed.
So eventually, more people pile in, and Gable starts also helping you. Sits next to you, Tali, and starts helping you sort of plow through the book there as
I
well.
will borrow knowledge, by the way, so that I
Yeah, that's
can...
fine.
Yeah.
The reason why I was asking about your intelligence score, by the way, was it's high enough to kind of get the sense of this. Is you think this is going to take you the better part of the day to kind of
Yes.
decipher?
That's fine.
So in terms of things like your borrowed knowledge spell,
It's an hour, but it gives me a
Yes.
good start.
Yeah,
like-
and you might have to recast it. All that's going to get around to.
That's fine. I'm happy to get a good start, and then we might.
Yeah, and I imagine for the sake of Christina, I'm assuming you sort of every once in a while come back together, share notes, and go like separate again because otherwise you're not helping one another if you're completely separating.
Come
Yeah.
Come back together, share
together.
notes
Sorry.
and so on. But that's fine. So you have this kind of morning. You sit around the breakfast table. Christina at this point would be in the amulet, sort of reading, and everyone's sort of around the table. At some point, everyone make me a perception check, apart from Christina, who'd be in the amulet, and obviously Chad, who isn't here.
Perceptionist.
Ooh.
19.
Oh, I'm super proficient in it. But what's the little A? It's an A for advantage, but why do I have? Do I always have
Advantage.
to
Oh,
roll
Sight.
with that?
because of your third eye.
Your advantage on sight-based perception checks, you have 3 eyes.
Yeah, but this is not the case, so
This is
I
hero
roll
based,
normal.
actually.
Alright.
I've got a 24.
Oh my god, 8.
Pebble, you don't know. Your
Pebble, yeah, Pebble doesn't
senses
know.
are overwhelmed by
Pebble
the smell of beautiful cooked food.
Hey, I like that.
Rask, even with a 19, you don't get catches either. Very similarly, breakfast is all that matters to you right now. Tali on a 24, though, you do pick up on this. It is very faint. You hear a noise coming from somewhere else in the house. You hear the sound of like a crackle of lightning,
ooh,
and then like a curse, like damn it.
Does it sound like the Baron?
Sounds like Baron. And there's a moment, and then again.
I'm gonna
But
take.
you
the
can't
book.
hear any like
Oh.
talking or words or anything, but the kind of like there's a kind of almost like a there's a pain sound, and you hear that is what you're hearing.
Okay, I'll say
Torture
maybe
sound.
before I get into doing, because I don't want to cast Borrow Knowledge until I'm actually gonna make the roll for it, because yeah, for like looking at the book. So I might. Tali's gonna just go check that out for a bit. She'll tell the rest of the group. I'm just keep Gable. You know, you can be in charge of the.
You
of
leave
effort
Gable in the
here.
book. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
I'm
So you
back in a
start-
minute.
Yeah, you trace the sound, and it's coming up from upstairs in where Baron's room is.
Go up
In the
there.
dorm on the Scott and Misfits side of dormitories.
Go there, like knock on the.
You knocking like, just a moment. Then there is a moment. You hear a sort of shifting of sounds, some stuff happening, and he opens the door. He's not wearing his armor, but he's wearing his like the clothes underneath it, which is this kind of fancy, sort of noble, like doublet and stuff like that. Hi, good morning. Roll me a perception check immediately.
9.
Right, okay.
Oh.
It's fine. He looks, his normal smarmy self. He sort of like smushed his hair back. Like, good morning, and how can I help you?
Are you okay? Can I come in?
What?
And she just
You
walks in.
Amazing. You can still see
Yeah,
it
yeah,
on
good
the
morning,
night. You
whatever.
still see that welt on his head is still there. It's gone down a bit, but it is still very much there. You kind of like, a little. Oh, okay. You barge past him, and you see his room. It's about as messy as you imagine his room would be.
Hmm.
This is a guy who, in his usual living circumstances, is servants do all the hard work for him. So this is the rich kid
Ah,
who's gone
yes.
to university. Essentially, this is the
I
guy who
see.
doesn't know how to look after himself. His room is fucking all over the place.
Good.
But
But that noise potentially is. Well, I know he has the stuff he has as a lightning.
Yeah.
Like
So
a
you
crackly. Like is
you
there
do see it.
anything?
So
Yeah.
when you see it, it's like leaned up against the wall, on the opposite side to his bed, just sitting
Is there
against the
anything
wall.
else out of place immediately in the room as it looks?
The thing is, you don't know what this room normally looks like. Like again, there's just
Fair.
clothes and stuff everywhere. So you don't know what would be in place to then
okay,
notice in
okay.
our place.
How are you doing?
But I'll let you roll another investigation check.
Oh, investigation check.
Or perception for this, actually, yeah.
A natural one. We don't know.
Next one.
We don't know.
You are overwhelmed by how messy this room is.
We ask him how he is. How are you?
Yeah.
Apologies.
Fine, of course. Absolutely fine, you know, and a little bit embarrassed that, well, how events played out yesterday, but, I'm good, alive. I'm sorry, that's insensitive. I don't mean to. I'm not saying. I'm still very sorry about Chad.
I'm really sorry about Chad.
Well, I didn't mean to sort of imply that I didn't come alive and he wasn't. That's not what I was going for.
Why do you think he's not alive?
Well,
He, well,
didn't come
I've
back.
told everybody. He wasn't in the library when we left.
Yeah, but come on, that's. Madam Mulgrave told us
That's
anyone who gets left
gone,
behind is
honestly.
basically gone, right?
That's
Like,
besides the point. And she just like walks up to him. I don't know how tall he is, by the way. I don't know if we, because Charlie's like 6 foot.
He's in the 6 foot range as well, but
Okay, we can go.
I'm-
fine, we can-
yeah. You probably do, like, goblins are a little bit taller than most people, so you probably do have a couple inches on him.
What are you doing? And don't lie to me.
What do you mean, what are they doing? I'm just getting ready.
No, what were you doing?
Getting ready.
Try again.
What do you mean, insight check?
An insight check. 17.
17. Obviously he's lying. But this is the point where you clock something you hadn't seen before. The way he's standing is that he has been holding the whole time. Like even when he opened the door, he's been keeping his like right side covered. When he opened the door, he showed you like half his body, but kept his right side covered. He's been standing while you've been in his room with his right hand behind his back. And you catch a glimpse of it in the moment where he's sort of like nothing. He holds his hand up, and you can see that there's like char marks on his hand.
You like grab his wrist, like not like
Yeah.
aggressively, like like polite.
It's not
but
aggressive.
as politely
It's
as
the
you
fact
can,
that
but just she's very direct.
Yeah. It's not that you grab it aggressively. He's like he wasn't expecting you to grab it. And it does
What's
seem like
this?
maybe it hurts him somewhat, even though you don't grab it aggressively. Well,
What's this?
a battle injury sustained yesterday while I was in the field.
But you were unconscious for most of.
Before
yesterday.
that, we're fighting some fire demons things, and one of them torched my hand a little bit. It's nothing to worry about.
So what were you doing? You were trying to investigate your injury before I came here?
Yes, exactly that, precisely. Just
Is
doing
he
a bit of
lying?
battle triage, post-battle triage.
Is he lying?
Yeah, he's 100% lying.
So he wasn't. He wasn't doing anything with his. He wasn't like investigating his hat.
No. The hand is clearly something that stands out, but you don't think it was sustained in battle yesterday. You don't think he was investigating his hand. You're not buying any of this. You think the only
Let's
reason
go
why he
over
said
that.
that was because you called it out. He's trying to now cover his own back by calling out the thing you referred to.
I said, don't lie to me. You can
Roll
try
me,
again, or I can use magic.
Roll me intimidation check.
Just a flat. Do I get a flat? Do I get an?
Oh, you have advantage.
Yeah.
You're an opposing.
Neat.
Ooh, a 14.
14. You unfortunately rolled higher than that.
No.
You got an 18 on the dice and then plus some.
I can just use magic.
He was just like, I'm not lying. He says lying. But you can see he's kind of like shutting down a bit. Like there's something going on right now. He's clearly uncomfortable with whatever is happening or happened.
I can help you. That's all I want to do.
I don't need help, thank you. I'm quite alright. Look, I'm just organising myself, organising my room, and I will be down at breakfast shortly. It's all good. Now, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. He sort of like tries to slightly urge you towards the door. One thing you're also picking up with Baron, you probably have picked up on, is that unlike Chad, although they're very similar personality, he clearly doesn't have the same reverence for a godling.
Yeah, yeah.
He does find you intimidating as a person and a being, but he hasn't got the same reverence for you.
She just like stares him down for a little bit. We just, and then she's like, "You're lucky I have more important things to do today." And she just leaves.
Oh!
You catch him like trying to. He's about to say something, but he like bites his tongue. Like, good. I will see you at the
But I
breakfast table.
do want to help, so if you need help, which you might not, because you're great and everything, but if you do,
I have it all under wraps. It's fine. Thank you.
I love the aggressive help situation. But yes.
She hates it. I hate him. Tali hates him. It's just. Yes, we both.
Yeah, but she wants to help at the same time.
Of course, because she will help, but also this guy's a dick.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
just
So
keeps
he wants to help.
lying.
Wants to help because he wants to know what's going on.
Yes, because I don't trust him. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I need
Yeah,
to know for the
yeah.
sake of the party, okay? So I can have everything under my control.
Fair enough.
You make your way back down to the breakfast table.
She's in a huff.
That's fine.
Darling,
Yeah, time goes by.
Why are you sad, darling? No, Pebble is not like that.
It doesn't matter, Pearl. It doesn't.
A bit of time goes by, and
Oh, God.
eventually you return to the table. Everyone obviously joins you, and then a bit later, moments later, really, Baron joins. You can see he's wearing a pair of gloves,
Mhm.
like some like fine, like silken like gloves, like a sort of noble-esque. But it is strange that he's wearing them. Tyler, you know it's to cover up whatever charm mark or burn mark was on his hand. And obviously, you were already suspicious, but this to you confirms that that's not something the rest of the party, the rest of the squad of misfits would recognise. Otherwise,
But he didn't. Did he have that before he went into the labyrinth?
you can roll me a retroactive perception check.
Because he seemed like he was lying when
Mhm.
I said, "Did he get it in the?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, natural 20.
That's right. So not only did he
26.
not have it before he went to the labyrinth, he also didn't have it when he came back from the labyrinth. When Chunk was when you checked over him the night before, when Chunk offered him up to you, there was no injury on him like that. Only the welt on his head was the only injury he had. This is something he's since sustained.
Brask growl at him so he doesn't sit nearby. If he tries to.
Yeah, he was going to just sit down, like, because I think you were being somewhat chummy the day before. It was like, Brusky, okay, no, okay, and so he ends up like down. You watch as you growl at him. It's like, okay, yeah, and you got waltz towards the squad of misfits, and Hespia just dagger eyes, like,
Yes.
I'll keep going, and just sort of eventually ends up like down the end of this long table by himself.
Separated from everyone else, yeah.
I want to do something. I want to spend some time. We have a book that might be very magical. I want to spend some time casting Detect Magic on the
Sure.
book. And, everyone around me within 30 feet.
Fair enough.
I'm going to ritual cast it.
Something that might add to that, as you start to like prepare to ritual cast it, which will take 10 minutes.
And she will very blatantly say, she won't necessarily hide it because it's about the book. I just want
Yeah,
to
no,
read
that's
the
not
book,
fun.
you know?
That's not a problem. This, unless Chad is doing anything but, I imagine this is the point when Chad enters into
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Two
The
for
break
one.
room.
Oh, good. 2 for
So
1. It's
so can
okay.
I? So
Yes.
does Chad need to knock? Is Chad when he goes and tries the door? Does he? Is
So
he
when you
just
arrive
able
back at the
to
mansion,
walk in?
you
Yep.
see the sort of you don't see that sort of decrepit visage anymore. You see
Yeah.
the version of the mansion that you have come to know, and
Yeah.
you can literally just walk in. As you walk in, the steward does address you. He's like, Master Chadronetheus, good morning. I wasn't aware
Good
you had
morning.
left the premises.
Oh yes, just you can't see everything, you know. You can't be everywhere at once. I'm sure. Just popped out to stretch my legs and gather up a sack of breakfast.
There is this sort of weighted pause as you say that, like, be that as it may, you need to sign in and out. Otherwise, please come and sign the book to show that you have re-entered the premises.
Did we sign
Right,
up when
yes.
we left to go to the library?
Yes, you signed not for the library, no.
No, because the library is in
Well, but it's-
yeah, that's yeah.
You didn't sign
Okay.
up for the library. But when you guys were going back and forth to help with the pub, you were signing your
Anyway.
in and out.
Yeah.
That's why there's big like paw prints from Brusk,
I
claw marks in it.
like
But yes,
full page.
But I mean, would it help if I retroactively put in my signing out?
please do. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Which
Chad's
time?
Chad's gonna say that he's been out for like a couple of hours.
That's fair.
Oh,
On
for
that.
sure. Yeah.
During breakfast.
Yeah.
Someone-
Gathering breakfast.
and there's this all again. It is a bus. It has no facial expressions, but there is this kind of thing. And at some point, you'll have to explain to me how it is that you made it out of the premises, without my awareness.
Chad's gonna yeah, no, yeah. We'll get to that, I'm sure. Don't worry
But
about
your
it.
companions are in the breakfast hall, so please make you free to join them if they wish to. Did you say sack of breakfast?
Like, I thought I'd treat everybody. You know, we had a big night. Big busy night. I thought I'd treat everybody to some food items.
You do remember we
Miscellaneous food items.
You do remember
yeah.
we have a fully staffed kitchen here, right?
Yes, and I just, waste not, want not. And Chad's just gonna start walking, despite the fact that doesn't make any sense.
As you walk around, like, I'm not sure that applies in this.
just gonna.
In fact, what happens
love it.
is
I
you say
fucking
that as
love
you
it.
walk away from the bus, and on your way to the breakfast hall, you pass another one in the hallway, and that one was,
Judging you
that
intently.
phrase doesn't apply to this situation. Yes.
Don't
But
worry
eventually,
about it.
Tali, as you finish casting your detect magic spell, you do detect a being entering the room.
There's
What
like
do you detect?
blaring
magic
with.
on him. or-
Wait a minute, yeah, no.
I will do the other one as well, by
Yeah.
the way, within this scene. So we'll like it depends. Yeah, when they're.
No, okay.
I can
see,
read
right.
you detect magic if you,
You would
want.
not. No, it's fine. I can read it. The reason I thought you would, I don't know. Chadronetheus enters the room as you finish completing the detect magic spell.
Ask is gonna immediately run on all fours and launch himself at him.
Oh,
Right,
Pebbles
right,
not
strength
over
saving
there,
throw.
so- Yes.
Yeah, like this is gonna unintentionally hurt you.
I'll tell you what, we're gonna make this a trip attack. So
It's a natural one.
yes, it happens. Bam! You just knock
And now you
Chad
die.
off the hallway, down to the floor. Breakfast foods go scattering down the hallway. You just hear,
Landing on the back.
Ew,
Yeah.
ew, no. Nasty.
Brass thinks he's impaled you.
yeah.
No.
The
The
steward is
guts.
like,
Tasty guts. Sorry.
the carpet's gonna smell of 4 weeks of this.
Oh.
But yes,
Do we all like? Is it like? Does Chad just walk in silently, or like does he say like I don't know, like just for?
Yeah, Jan, there will be a Chad will have sort of walked in and be like, "Morning, everyone!" And like as he was saying that, he would have been tackled by by Brask.
Tony just like bolt upright, stand up. Chad,
Yeah.
Brask, Chad.
Pebble's gonna go
Rashford
there.
is gonna like pick him up and like display him Lion King style.
Ah!
The
And also,
spell-
correction to my correction, Chad would ping up on Detect Magic, as would all the Small Mighty.
Alright.
You're all still under the effects of the Blessing of the Dalewind.
That's
Oh,
okay,
no.
but I can discern. But is there any additional effects on Chad?
Yeah, we'll come to that in a
One.
second.
And
Um,
also the Baron, and also just the rest of the other people. Why not? We're
Mhm,
here.
mhm.
Alright, we'll quickly run through that. So, all the Small Mighty,
Okay,
you have a
hold on.
blessing. You have a blessing effect on yourselves.
Yes.
I think there'd be sort of a magical residue around Gable, just because he's a spellcaster who
Right.
sort of experiments with magical
Yeah.
etc. Very similar with Raz. Baron, no.
Not even his hand.
Hespia, no.
Okay.
Chunk, very yes.
Oh,
An animated statue, very yes. Yes, but no, Baron doesn't detect anything magical.
interesting.
Chad,
Yeah.
you just get the Blessing of the Dalewind.
Okay. The book.
The book, yes, the book would have magical.
What kind of?
That one we would have, what is it called? The protective magic. I can't remember what it's called in my head. I'll find out in a second. Abjuration? Abjuration magic.
Neat.
Okay. That's fine. I would, yeah, okay. I'm gonna ritual cast detect evil and good.
Ooh.
So you're gonna immediately move on to detect evil
Well,
good.
like kind of over the course of the scene, like
Do you say anything to Chad? No, you can't actively be trying to Chad and casting spells.
it's very true. That's very true. Okay, we leave that one. We leave that one. Yeah,
Oh.
for now.
Fair enough.
Can
Although I feel like I should have been detect poison and disease, but it's fine. It's okay. We can.
Pebble roll something to check if he identifies where the bag of breakfast comes from, judging by the smell and the cookery.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this idea. Please make me a perception check with advantage.
Very nice. How? Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Your sheepy senses are.
Exactly.
more.
So it's an
You cast detect breakfast.
yes, unnatural 20.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
Unnatural is amazing.
Unnatural.
You see these breakfast foods kind of somewhat scattered on the floor. Some are still, contained. And like, you reckon that style slicing
Yeah,
bacon
yeah.
anywhere, like that's Helga's bacon. Like you know this has come from the Five Fellows.
Just like Grandma Helga used to make.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm just approaching Chad like, hug. And then, what were you doing at the Five Fellows?
What? Wait, Chad, hang on. Where have you been? Tali hasn't like moved from where she's sitting, but she's now
Yeah.
standing, and she's just like, where have you been?
Let's go put
Yeah,
Chad at
go,
the table.
Yeah.
Just start stacking food.
I imagine Pavel would like hug one leg. And then, what were you doing at the Five Fellows?
I think also just to add to the situation, I think about now it's probably the point when Christina pops back to sort of share
Oh,
something
dear.
to everyone,
Oh,
and then sees Chadronetheus lay on the floor in a pile of bacon and stuff.
He's dead.
This is going well.
Sorry, is Christina gonna go for it?
No.
You're muted.
Haha! Cast detect audio.
I'm awful now. Hello.
There we
It's
go.
alright.
Hello.
I wouldn't say anything anyway because
That's fine.
very, very mixed feelings.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's very true.
Very
fair.
job taken out of her
That's very fair.
by Chad. So, yeah, you're back.
Is it a case of Christina pops back in the chair, notices, goes, "Ooh, this is a bad time," and then goes back again,
She feels a bit,
like
yeah.
grabs some food off the table, like, "I'll come back."
She feels a bit taken aback. By
Maybe she'll just sit there.
Okay.
Be present. Wait for Chad to say something.
Yeah, okay.
That's aggressively eating sausages.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking.
Shot in espresso.
Yeah.
Again!
Very nice. Very nice. Oh my god. Neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a bit weird, really. I mean, it's also coming back to me in bits, really. There was the whole thing with the doorknob, and I take it you all turned it the other way, and yeah, that sort of put me back towards the beginning. I think we communicated at that point, and then yeah, there was just lots of ink.
Oh,
going
right. So
through,
that
like,
happened to you
coach.
as well. Interesting.
Yeah,
was
so
there.
the ink all happened. I realized I wasn't going to make it. Actually, realized that I just wasn't, like, it was filling up too quickly, and there was no end of the corridor in sight, and there was a crack, like, in the wall of the corridor where there was ink pouring out of that. I rather majestically and bravely and some might actually say heroically, bashed my way through that crack in the wall and actually broke open the wall, and went through, and then I woke up in the Five Fellows. And then there was breakfast, and I brought it all for that sheep there. Where's
Get
Pebble?
back to... No, Pebble is here.
No, wait, what?
Yeah, Pebble's back to normal now.
Oh, is Pebble back? All right,
Yeah.
cool. Sorry, I missed that. I don't know how I missed that. I thought Pebble was still the sheep.
It only lasted for an hour, so he's back.
Hang on, hold on.
Right.
How did you
Sorry.
get back to the Five Fellows? Tali doesn't understand.
I just, like I said, I went through the crack in the wall and woke up there about an hour or two ago.
Can I insert check, Chad?
Yeah, go for it.
I love this.
Could I? Because Chad is purposefully lying here.
Yeah.
Could we contest this?
Ooh.
Oh, so sorry. What? I wasn't. Did you say you only arrived there an hour or so ago?
Chad is omitting all the stuff about the spider and the abyssal
He's
sea.
like, I just went through the wall and I ended up at the pub.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Then
He's
absolutely,
actively
yes.
trying
How
this
weird.
time.
Yes. Sorry, I was reading something else at the time. Yes, please, deception check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my number.
God damn, 7.
Oh, 12.
Yay!
Yes.
So yeah, Tali, it's not like you don't think he's he's not. The words he has said is not incorrect, but there's more to it than that. But you don't know. It's one of the things where, because of how low both of you rolled and close together, you can't tell Tali if Chad's lying to you because he doesn't want to tell you, or because he doesn't want to share it in front of other people, or because he doesn't know. Like, there's more. There's clearly more to the story, but you don't sense a motive behind why Chad isn't telling you.
All right, it's fine. She doesn't say anything. She just stares at Chad, and she's like,
Pebble is just like.
and she just sits down and she gets on with this book.
Pebble's just like.
You got-
Wow, what the story! Like Pebble is oblivious.
You got the book. You got it. What was there something? Was there anything guarding it? What happened?
Fun story. There was a bit of a dragon, but it was hollow, so good.
Just a bit of a dragon.
Yeah, I mean,
Turns out
Sorry.
it catches fire.
Sorry. You guys fought a dragon without me.
In a dungeon, yes. That's the
A
title.
dragon?
No.
You fought a dragon.
I think
wasn't
so.
there.
I tried.
It
at
wasn't.
least.
And brought this
wasn't
really
that
cool
big.
thing where like we had like some cobwebs and then we had the fire and then the dragon went. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the spider in the hallway gave me the idea. So I just used webs and covered the dragon. You remember the spider?
Right. Yes. I vaguely remember that there being.
We
some
had a
kind
fight
of-
with it.
spider. Yes, no, that's
Oh.
true. Yeah, I take it no one saw that again, did it? That wasn't the dragon, was it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, the book was the dragon.
The book,
Yeah.
right?
The
that
book
makes more sense.
emitted
Of
the
course.
dragon. Why?
Right.
Yeah, okay. I'm not. Pebble's not gonna question it. And to contribute to the fight, I apparently I turned into a sheep.
That was right at the end.
Well, you know what? I'm proud of all of you. That you guys took on a dragon. And
Oh,
you
and
won.
And the Squad of Misfits helped as well.
Oh yeah, them too. But
They
you guys
helped
for the
grasp.
dragon.
Yeah.
That's
An
incredible.
illusory dragon. Well, not illusory, but no
Almost
dragon.
died.
Pebble, what was it like being a sheep?
Don't ask me again sometime. I have some
I've always
shitty trauma to work
I've always
through.
wanted to know.
He's bad.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay.
Woolly bad.
I'm
Really
gonna take the
bad.
inspiration token away from Ryan.
Yes. Pebble, obviously, I mean, does the party know that what happened to Pebble in
I
his
can't remember.
childhood?
So the players know because we had that flashback session where if you had a bit of a backstory moment.
Pebble's traumatized. Yeah, Pebble should
But
be
yeah,
more
but
traumatized than
the-
he is. Actually.
The characters don't know.
Oh my god, yeah. Pebble should be a little bit more, it's like, yeah. Just, the only thing I'm gonna say is I'm glad to be back to, apparently, my real form.
Yeah,
Good
but
to see you all.
you're still wrestling with that conundrum as well, the being the hobgoblin versus being
Yeah.
the human.
No, I think we settled that I was a hobgoblin all this time.
You don't know
Yeah.
why.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
Tali's gonna start casting Detect Evil and Good
Yeah.
for 10 minutes.
Tally's breakfast is very busy. Tally is not having time for
It's
breakfast
working
right
breakfast, Tali.
Yeah, got stuff to do, you know.
now. Yeah.
While you're getting that, you hear this small little like chime noise that kind of rings out, kind of near Gable. You know, ding. Sorry. I'll be back in a moment. He runs off.
Where are you going? We have.
Oh,
I need to go check on the other thing. It doesn't explain. It just leaves.
I think we
Nothing
no.
I know.
We asked a few. No, we asked him to do a few different things for us. So.
Yeah. One of the things was the blade of blading.
Yes, that was more Chunk doing that.
Oh, that was true. Yeah,
It's
true.
the cure for Bachard.
But the potion for Bachard, yes.
Oh, yeah, the alchemy. Of course. Yeah. I forgot.
That is ready today.
Neat. I hope it turned out well. Oh,
I
kitten
love seeing
time.
how Ryan just pulled a cat out of the camera. Just went whoop.
That was too hard.
1 second.
One of those digital cats. Cat printer.
yeah.
Yes. Detect good and evil. What does it do?
So, for the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. So I'm kind of just like, maybe Baron's hand counts as being desecrated, or
Sure.
maybe. Let's just see. Does it give me bad vibes? Bit of a vibe check for the room.
And what's the radius?
30 feet.
30 feet.
I'll walk around if I have to.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Read the list of creatures again to me.
Aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
You get a Fey ping from Pebble.
Fine. Yes.
I am ping.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Although actually, is
Wait.
that fine?
Wait, why does she get a ping from?
That's
wait.
fine. Don't worry about it.
Pebble doesn't know about that.
Hobgoblin.
It's because you're Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblins
Hobgoblins are Fey creatures.
Okay.
You're a little fairy boy.
I'm just like, go back to that.
Just in the kind of roundabout to kind of help with this. Roll me a perception check. I'll give you advantage on it. There's a particular thing I want to see if you pick up on from the spell.
Ooh, that's pretty good. 21.
21, okay. So beyond Pebble, nothing else is picked up on for the spell.
At all in the whole room.
Let's Adam some misremembering something. I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll
Fine.
remember double check something in a second. But what you do realize is you're like, oh, good, nothing in the room, especially on Chad. Nothing like that.
okay.
And Baron doesn't pick
That's
up.
something.
And it dawns on you, probably should have felt something on Chad. Because you would imagine the vial of your blood should have been picked up. And that's not there.
I was gonna. I'm right. Kind of going to roll a little insight check if that's okay. Just to see if Chad.
Yeah, go on.
I want to see if Chad sees that Tali is looking a bit kind of like.
Yeah.
Be like,
Imagine Chad's on high alert right now.
Yeah.
When shit's happened, Chad didn't want to tell
Yeah.
Tali. High alert. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. That is an 11.
11. So I think beyond, again, Chad is on high alert. Like, there's things that Chad knows he's not telling Tali. Which, and you know Tali probably won't like that. But you don't specifically, like, pick up on the fact that Tali has identified something about you right now.
Yeah.
Probably get the general vibe that Tali is
Yeah.
because of the stuff with the back. Tali is pretty angry, but I guess you wouldn't get anything like any idea about if she's angry at you, if it's something else. No idea. She's angry right now. She's not doing great.
Yeah, but also for
Chad's gonna. Oh. Go ahead.
for Tali's consideration, I mean, Chad's got it pretty rough trying to crawl from between the cracks, you know? A vial can be lost by crawling between cracks.
But look, it doesn't matter.
I was just
It's
trying
not-
to
It
scare the
doesn't
shit.
really matter. She's gonna be even more angry. She matter how. It doesn't matter that. It doesn't matter how right
I
now.
get
It
it,
matters
I
that
get
he
it.
lost it.
Yeah,
It-
for
it-
sure.
It absolutely could have, like, you know, yeah, it could have dropped it when crawling for a wall. It could have lost it, and like, it doesn't matter how he lost it. It's the fact that
It's
it's
just
not
trying to
there is bad.
Add to it.
Yeah, so Tali can be concerned for Chad and also angry.
Yeah.
I think it has been proven many
Angry at
times.
everyone. Both the fucking rich boys are lying their asses off, and
Chad's gonna just sort of look. Oh, yeah. I think after a little bit. I think I might go for a walk. Just after breakfast, just to really let it settle down afterwards. Yeah. Anyone else fancy going for a walk outside the manor? Briefly, just in a little bit.
School, stand up
Yeah.
and volunteer.
What's
Mostly just
that?
because he's like done like hyper protective mode. So he's
Frost
like, yeah,
is-
okay.
right. How thick is the air right now? Like, would Pebble want to scoot away from this situation? Would Pebble want
There
to
is
know
clearly
more?
a very awkward. There's an awkwardness
Yeah.
in the air right now, but it's up to you depending how
Yeah,
Pebble
of course.
responds to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah.
You still have like Christina
gonna
sat
say.
there like staring daggers at Chad. Like there is Tali is.
she's just trying to do this book thing. You know, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
Pebble's gonna stay.
I make it clear just above the table? Chad saying that is he's trying to sort of suggest that as a like, hey, if anyone wants to
Come talk about this.
talk about stuff when we're not in this building, then hey, that
I think Tali's insightful enough to
Yeah.
pick up on that. Should Tali want to act upon it, is up to you.
Or is it like? Is
Well,
it?
I just wanted to check that I wasn't accidentally being.
well, at least
like,
I
not
understood
making it- yeah.
Is Chad trying to say like he wants to talk to this mighty group separately? Effectively,
all of us?
or is it or like
Yeah,
is it like
I think to a certain degree. Like, if
Yeah,
anyone wants to have a
it's-
conversation more privately, let's go have a walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pebble's gonna try to understand what Christina is gonna do.
I'm taking the book? So Tali like packs up the book.
Pebble wants to share the feeling of being traumatized with Christina, who's also traumatized. So yeah, two
Yeah.
traumatized kids.
Brask pick up what was left of Cad's sack of food and start loading it with fresh food from the table.
Absolutely.
Great.
Provisions for the journey.
Jesus,
You
which
hear,
journey
you
has it
just
already
hear
been
a sigh come from the bust of the steward, but doesn't do anything actively. You fill that up. So, right, who was going for a walk all night around the grounds with Chad? And who's staying?
Probably Walker.
Darnie Brask?
I
And
mean,
Christina and Pebble staying?
is Christina? But as soon as they leave, is Christina gonna go back to the amulet? Because otherwise, Pebble just wants to know what the fuck happened. So it's like, yeah,
No, I don't think so.
cool.
Before Tali leaves, she will probably be like, "Oh, Hespia, can we just chat when I get back later?"
She'll just nod at you.
Mhm.
In that
Great.
usual kind of wordless way.
That's
Stoic way.
That's okay. We now get responses out of Hespia, so this is progress.
Very nice.
She's gone from blanking you to nodding at you.
Yeah, this is a big
It's
win.
good.
Okay?
It's good. Yeah.
It is a big one. Okay. So you guys head on to basically walk around the gardens with Chad. So
Are there busts of the steward in the gardens?
probably a perception check.
The stewardess.
Chad's suggestion was going to be to walk around outside the
Sure.
to leave the grounds altogether. But
Sure. I mean, you can just do that if that's what you want, but you do have to sign out if you do that.
Oh.
yeah. It's a 14
I'll handle
on
this,
perception
guys.
check.
How much?
14.
Yeah.
14.
From what you can tell, there doesn't seem to be. There's like a patio area, and there's a bust of the steward on the patio area. But if you actually head into the gardens and stuff, which are fairly large, you don't see the steward out there. Unless there's some like really sneaky hidden ones, which you'd imagine probably defeats the point of him. Like he's clearly here to serve, the people in this building. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense to have a hidden one, you don't think. So you feel pretty confident there isn't any around.
Okay, right, fine. I'm gonna take you at your word then. Possibly a bad thing. Oh yeah, lovely morning for just a post breakfast stroll, isn't it? Isn't it, guys? Yeah. Stuart, just as we're going past the one that's like on the patio, what's your kind of you just like a normal hearing range, or have you got like? No, it's a weird question to ask. Don't worry, just sort of curious. Anyway, have a good morning.
Make me a deception check as you say.
Yeah,
that.
no, very, very, very bad deception check.
Just blundering your way all around the place.
Or maybe it's a 16.
Okay, interesting. You get no response out of the steward as you sort of spill this off. Who might just be ignoring you after you cut bacon all over his carpets. You're not quite sure, but yeah.
Fair enough. Once we're out of, I guess, what would be like a normal human hearing range, Chan's gonna say, so guys, there's a little bit more to what happened in the labyrinth, and I just thought maybe it was best if it was just between us, and maybe not shared around anyone else. Because this could be. You remember that whole spider thing that sort of was there? Obviously, absolutely fine. We dealt with it, and it was totally fine. You remember like its voice, and it had that voice. When I was in the last corridor that I got to, and it was clear that it was going to be filling up. Well, actually, even before then, when the rooms and corridors were filling up with the ink, and it was looking pretty bad. I possibly heard that spider's voice, and it offered to get me out of there live on two conditions, and I completely dismissed it and just decided no, that's not going to happen. That I don't need the help, specifically not the help of a weird spider demon thing with non-existent webs and all that nonsense. So that was fine. That was absolutely fine. Yeah. Only then a little bit later on, when that crack appeared in the wall, and my only thought was to go and swim through it. I am almost entirely sure that on the other side of that wall was the bottom of the abyssal sea.
Wait,
And
hold on. You went into the abyssal sea?
I am fairly certain that I was at the bottom of the abyssal sea. There was some things down there. Brask, I know that you're big. You're a big guy. There were things down there the size of the size of town blocks. I couldn't quite see them, and it was at that point when I was certainly going to die that the spider thing made its offer to me again, and I conceded.
What were the conditions?
And that's how I got back.
Yeah, what were the conditions, Chad?
Yeah. So do you want the good one or the bad one first?
What's the good one?
Neither of them. They're both bad.
Great.
Yeah, the first one was
first?
well, they're both kind of just as bad as each other, really, I suppose.
Oh my God.
Thinking about it, they're both pretty awful. So on the one hand, it wanted to basically use me to get into this plane of existence, to escape the labyrinth, and then also it took. Okay, what it asked for, and I allowed it to take the vial of your blood, Tali, that you gave me a few days ago.
I want to put a filter over Tali's video.
I would certainly have died at the bottom of the abyssal sea, and none of you would ever have seen me again or known what happened to me, and I'd never have seen you again. That was the decision. It wasn't a decision. Go ahead.
Can Brass do a perception check, like specifically trying to gauge Chad's emotions as he's saying that bit about like us not seeing him again, him not seeing us again, and like that's like genuine like fear. I think.
Give me an insight check.
Can I insight check just to see if he's lying about anything else?
Yeah.
Holly's not in a trusting mood at the moment.
18.
Insight checks.
Ooh.
18. Yes, Brass, you pick up on there was a genuine fear in Chad. Even still is like Chad doesn't really. I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, Will, but feel like he understands the consequence of the actions, but definitely felt backed into a corner and isn't happy about having to hand over the vial of blood. I'm trying what you get.
10.
A 10. See?
Maybe he's lying. Who knows anymore?
You're almost like doubling over yourself in paranoia now. Like it feels like too elaborate to be a lie, but also who knows anymore.
But yeah, I'm here. I'm unscathed.
Where's the spider?
I.
You brought it back with you.
It's not with me. I haven't seen it or heard it. So maybe it was nice, and it just kind of went away somewhere. You know.
No, we don't know.
Maybe it's at the bottom of the abyssal sea, where nothing can get to us.
Chad, you know. Also, before I say this, Adam, does Tali understand the abyssal sea in terms of what it is in your world?
Probably should. Yes, to a certain degree. But roll me a religion check anyway.
Okay.
See what we can add to that.
Hold on. Maths. 20 not natural.
So yes, you understand it is essentially the sort of space between realms.
Yes.
It is also the plane in which Forsh exists.
Yep.
The eponymous epitome of death and the psychopomp of this world.
Yep.
It is also where your sort of souls or spirits are transported to when you dream.
Yep.
Convenient.
Etc. It is not a place where living mortals usually tread. It is also a realm where the only beings that really said to be there are.
So if the abyssal sea is Forsh's sort of playground, and the spider understands how to navigate and get out of the abyssal sea, is it a far jump for Tali to make that the spider is in some way serving Forsh, or at least buddies with Forsh?
Well, what I was about to say was, the only beings that exist there besides Force are aberrations, the literal embodiment of nightmares, which are associated to Force. Yes, not in like a hierarchical or like a servitude kind of way. It's just they are beings that are almost created by or around Force. But it leads you back to the conversation you had yesterday with Madame Morgrave to suspect that a aberration seems a little bit more likely than what you're hearing about this.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. I think what will happen is because of the significance of the abyssal sea for Tali. Tali's gonna hug Chad. Do you know what I'm saying? She's gonna hug.
Okay.
Oh, Yep, it's good to
get in on it.
Our little group hug.
yeah, it's good to see you.
I'm glad you're okay.
I'm glad you're okay too. All of you.
But I am
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm glad you're okay, but I am unhappy. I should stop talking to you. I'm unhappy.
Rask remains. Wiggle out from
She
underneath
was like,
Rask.
okay, right, yep, okay. Yeah. That's very bad.
Can
It's just I was going to.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just saying it is bad. I'm not saying I would prefer a different outcome. I'm just. Tali just. I think the spider was a nightmare, like an actual nightmare, a nightmare incarnate. You know, they kill people in their sleep, sometimes. And they're kind of a whole antithesis of Intin and what I try to do. So Tali is just, it's not great.
Can ask just sort of. I'm imagining there's like sort of features in this garden area, so like a big rock or something that he can sort of sit back on, and he'll pull out Dragon Fang, pick up a little pebble, and just start sharpening it.
Tali's just gonna sit down, like just where she was standing. She's just gonna have a little sit down.
And you know,
Hmm?
worst comes to worst, we just kill it. You know,
Oh, just.
we already gave it a good run for its money there, and we just kill it.
That was exactly what Brask was thinking. That was why he was just like getting ready.
Yeah,
In his mind, that's the next thing on his to-do list.
Yeah.
Just let's hunt this thing down and kill it. Can Brask do sort of a nasal focused, scent focused perception check?
Sure.
He is specifically looking for some kind of trail of Tali's blood.
Sure. Perception
Not like a trail of it, as in like she's bleeding, but as in like where would it be?
The vial blood. Yeah, I'm with you. Perception check, please. I'll let you have advantage because.
I will. Well, I was okay. I'm going to use my hero moment for this.
Oh, even better. So yes, you use your hero inspiration. A natural 20, a de facto success. And Brask, it's nowhere. Like, not to the point where you think you just can't find it. You're pretty sure it's nowhere.
Okay, the way that perception check looked to everybody else was a pretty invasive Brask sniffing all around everybody, and like all around the climbing to the highest point in the garden and like taking the biggest lungful of the air possible, and nothing. He'll sort of land down, back down on the ground, pretty furious, and then relay that information that if that blood's around, it's not here. It's nowhere even remotely close to here or this place.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Which is good, right? Yeah, that means it's if the spider has the blood, then that means it's nowhere near. So
we can't
I'm
kill
so
it if it's
sorry.
not here.
Chad, you realize what people do with godling blood, right?
Does Chad realize that?
I think you're
should
told
probably
it was
rephrase,
very
do you know?
valuable. But roll me a history check or Arcana.
She would phrase it more as, do you know what people do with godling blood?
22.
Oh.
22. Okay. You can decide sort of why you know this later, but you know that is something that is basically evil spellcasters will use it for very dark rituals, essentially. Whereas blood is using all sorts of like necromantic rituals, godling blood can kind of push it that bit further. You probably would have heard tales about things like necromancers trying to like summon, or not even necromancers, just spellcasters trying to summon demons into the world. We might need to use godling blood to kind of give it that extra oomph, things like that. Potentially, sort of people trying to achieve immortality through elixirs and rituals, they might need godling blood for that. It's such a rare, because it contains, a fragment of divinity from the gods themselves. It can be used to, like a sort of essentially a catalyst to kind of multiply effects of other things. So whereas like a normal summoner might be able to bring a demon into the world for, let's say, maybe 24 hours, with godling blood they might be able to make it permanent. It's things like that.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
Maybe Tali's in danger because it's Tali's blood.
If you're in danger, and if I've put you in danger, I don't know. I can't.
Well,
I can't stomach that.
Look. There's not that
He's
much.
He's on the verge of tears with this. Like just really, really obviously, this is like the.
Why?
just like
Oh boy.
he's
We're just sitting here and Brassy's like, it's
fucking-
okay, guys.
shaken by this. Yeah, this whole thing.
There's not that much we can do right now. And thanks for telling us. Would have been much worse if I hadn't known, and then something.
I'm fine, obviously, for Christina and Pebble to know. I just thought possibly not something to discuss openly at the breakfast table.
I think that was
Oh,
yeah. I would totally agree with that. So, but
yeah.
that's, some people are not as coming. So
So, change the subject completely, please. What happened with Baron? Did I see him at the? Was Baron at the breakfast table?
He was at the breakfast table. You
Was he? Was he?
wouldn't have,
Help? Did he help out in the dragon fight? Was he?
no. He well, it seems like you know when they put that big wall so we can go forward. You know, they charged off ahead. Seems like he led them in some circles, and it sounds like they got annoyed with him, and then he was unconscious.
Oh.
And then Hesper took charge.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
helpful.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
Something's wrong with him.
What do you mean?
I was gonna talk to Hesper about this as well, but so we were at the breakfast table. We were doing this book, trying to figure out some things about it, and I heard a weird noise coming from his room. So Tali went to his room. He was very suspicious. He lied repeatedly to Tali about what was going on, what he was doing, and his hand is like all scarred and like burnt.
Right.
And he didn't have that when he went into Labyrinth, and he didn't have that when he left the lab.
Right.
So he's done something between the time we got back and this morning to do that, and it looks pretty nasty, and it just doesn't look like anything I've seen, and I don't understand what. He couldn't.
Yeah.
There couldn't be anything good, right? He wouldn't tell me about it. He was very rude.
Chad's gonna while Tali is Chad's gonna put his hands on Tali's shoulders, but you talk to Hesper. I'll talk to Baron.
Sure.
We'll figure that out.
Okay.
And then Brask says, and I will talk to
Yeah. And my axe.
yes.
You've muted
No.
yourself, Ryan.
Brask holds up Dragon Fang and just claws, and he's like, and I'll make sure he responds.
Oh.
I mean, you might need that, to be fair. He was very rude.
Good.
Lord.
Shall we,
Somebody again. That goes well whenever we do that.
Should we
The power of the threat.
head back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
But,
Thank you. And sorry again. Really sorry. And Jaski's gonna turn and start walking back to the house.
guys,
Hmm?
the food is there. Brask is like, but I brought the food. I don't have any food. He just starts bagging it up again.
Yeah.
Damn it. Making it difficult all the time. Yes.
Glorious. Glorious.
So Chad
You
generally...
guys head back in.
yeah.
Katrina Pebble, you sort of been sort of way around in the breakfast room.
Yeah.
Not a lot happening. Maybe sort of continue to sort of work on notes and things. It's all kind of happening in the background. As the other members of your party arrive back in the room, similar sort of time as Gable arrives and comes over to you, Tali. The elixir we're making potion for your friend. It's
Yeah.
I think it's ready.
Okay.
Obviously not made this
Great.
before, so I can't be 100% certain, but I've done everything I can. It's
there-
downstairs still. Ready,
Is
but
there
you
a
can take
way
it with you whenever.
is there a way we could test it before we just let him drink the whole thing? We care very much about him.
I don't think it will do any harm, but I don't know if it. We don't have anyone to test it on. He's the only person I know who has the condition.
No animal
maybe
testing,
nothing.
please.
But
Okay. Do you want? Well, when we, I think we have some things to do first, but we can definitely go over maybe later today. Did you want to come with us? You know, you made the potion. You said you'd be interested in studying it.
yeah, I could come. Yeah.
Just in case, you know, it'd be nice to have someone else.
I guess the only thing is, obviously, your friend wouldn't be able to know where
That's fine.
from the mansion. So
That's okay.
Okay, but yeah, okay. Does
He's
he
been
know?
hiding all of us from, you know, the Justicars, so.
That's fair. Does he know that he has this vision?
Oh,
No. I was gonna tell him and then give him the cure at the same time because I didn't want to. He's been through a lot lately, and so I thought I would just tell him and then
Okay.
be like, but it's okay because I made this for you.
cool.
But Tali will lead the way. You just.
No, that's fine. I just didn't want to jump in and start doing things if.
No, Tali will talk.
Okay, good. Good. No.
Bless him.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know when and.
Lovely.
He sort of awkwardly stands there.
Yeah, we'll go in a little.
Okay, I'll get back to researching. He sort of points to the book and then sort of awkwardly sidles off. Alrighty. Do you guys want to have your conversations with Hesper and Baron now, or?
Yeah, I mean, did
do you wanna
Unai
get back
and
to researching?
Yeah.
sorry, did Pebble and Christina want to have a conversation while we were away? Well, I don't know.
Continue Baron for a second.
Or
jump
just
back
like
to that in a
a
moment.
little studying the. Well, no, because I can't go into the. You have the book, so.
Tali did.
I mean, the book was left here.
No,
Oh.
Tali took the book
Okay,
Tali's
then
the
no,
book,
no,
I
it
think.
was not.
because Tali
so
doesn't trust the Baron.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry. But
That's alright.
Christina was out and she had looked at the book for a while, so she also might have had some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
you two
imagine.
would have talked about it, but it's still
Yeah.
again you're
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
bandy ideas about. But yes. So do you approach Hesper and Baron next? Is that where you're going?
Oh,
Or-
not yeah, separately, not together.
No, it's fine.
Anyway, yeah.
Or my point was, are you having those conversations, or are you digging into the research next? I guess is my point. But it sounds like
I'll talk
conversations.
to them.
Yeah,
we'll start with-
Chad's gonna try and separate Baron away from the whole
Well,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll start with Hesper and Tali.
Cool.
And while Chad, you sort of come over. Baron does seem genuinely happy. I'm kind of shocked to see you, Chad. Like, you dog, you! I thought you were dead for sure. And you start sort of like bantering.
Can I just do my gambit of getting him away from the getting him out of the room?
To be fair,
before
he was
the-
already
Charlie has
kind of
the-
separated from the rest of the group because they basically gave him glared at him to
Yeah.
sit with them. But
Okay,
yes, you can
fair enough.
actually like take him for a walk essentially. But yes, Tyler, you got
Yeah,
Hesper.
just do that. Yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to talk about the Baron. I mean, also I wanted to say thank you. Tali wanted to say thank you because you were really helpful. Healed us, and it helped us with the dragon. So you didn't have that. And
Well,
also thanks for
welcome.
knocking the dragon, the Baron out even, because you know. he
You
kinda-
deserved it.
Yeah, indeed. So the weird thing is, we know when we were all at breakfast, I don't know if you heard it, but I heard some weird noises coming from the room. So Tali went to check. I knocked on the door. He was kind of weird about it. Took him a minute to come to the door, and he just lied. He just lied. He just lied every time I tried to ask him what he was doing. He lied to me about it, and his hand is doesn't look very good, and it looks all like
you can see she sort of sits up a little bit more and looks over towards him, and just as like Chad and him are leaving the room, gives him an eye. Like,
it's all like scarred, and he didn't have that when we went into the labyrinth, and he also didn't have that when we came back out of the labyrinth. So he's done something between I'll return at breakfast. And I don't know. Maybe he tried to, he sounded like he was trying to touch something and it was like zapping him or something. I don't know if he was trying to get in to something he shouldn't be. But I'm a little Tali's a little concerned about what that is. And he won't talk to Tali because we're not on the best of terms. Tali told Chad, and he's having a quick chat with him to see what he can. But I thought I'd tell you since you're sort of there. Kind of like.
Gently nods and like, let me know if you learn any more.
Yeah, and the same. If you learn anything, be nice kept in the loop with all these like Genesis relics and everything going around. Tali's a little anxious. And he's wearing gloves today, which suggests he doesn't want anyone else to know about it either, which is even more suspicious. That was it.
Okay. She sort of goes back to eating breakfast.
What's she eating?
She just normal food, like everyone else.
Okay. It's nice
Boring,
to see you
no.
here for breakfast, by the way, because you went to have your own breakfast. Kind of nice. Gets back to.
You break from your awkward conversation. Meanwhile, Chad and Baron. Yes, you've sort of coaxed him out of the room.
Sharon. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. Tali's going for the subterfuge, the espionage, let's have hush conversations. Chad's going full on boisterous, and matching.
As you leave the room, it's like, oh, it's good to be getting out of that room. The tension in there is awful. Oh.
Yeah, so you've got. I hear there was a dragon. Tell me everything about this. What happened?
Fearsome beast.
I
red scales like you'd never believe. Breathing fire all over the place. It burnt my bloody hand. Look, and he sort of holds the hand up. He's still got a glove on, but it burned my hand. And incredible beast. But
wow, it must be some pretty bad. But surely that glove can't be doing. If it's a fresh burn, that glove I've seen.
Oh no,
it's burns in the field.
It healed quickly. I a dab hand at medicine. But
God, I'd love to
yes.
see you know it's just incredible sharing battle scars, isn't it? You go on. I'd love to see what this beast could do to you. It's
Yeah, you sort of punch it. Go on then, and it sort of takes it off and sort of shows the hand. And do you want to roll like you can roll a medicine check or a perception check? Or
Perception,
investigation, medicine. I'll let you do any of those.
They're all the same for me, so let's do perception. God. Damn it! 3.
It looks burnt. Like there is some burn marks on it. You can't, a dragon burn looks like, so you can't really identify it. Like it isn't, as you said, there's not like a fresh wound, which maybe is good at healing. It's not a in the sense of I don't mean it's not a fresh wound. What I mean more is like it's not like if you imagine actually someone who got burnt by a dragon's fire, you imagine it'd be like very raw. Like a big burn.
Not a night day after though, but yes, that's fair.
The burn he's showing you. I mean, it's up to you whether Chad would think this or not, but more to the viewer kind of point of view, it doesn't look like he's burned himself by sticking his hand in an open flame. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So it doesn't quite align to what you imagine actual burn from a dragon would be like.
Yeah. The thing that I suppose the question I could only ask if I'd rolled higher would be if the burn was like all over his hand or if it was just in like one particular, shall we say, straight line across his hands.
I'll give you that. Well, not maybe to that degree, but you do notice it's inside the palm of his hand. It doesn't seem to be on the back of his hand.
Right. Oh, interesting. So you must have holding your hand. Oh, you're just. You're a real fighter there. You're a real. I really, yeah.
You know what it's like in the blow of the moment. Their adrenaline gets you. I couldn't describe to you the specifics, but it happened all the same. But I did get the killing blow after all. Like the others, they won't talk about it. I don't think, because I think I embarrassed them by my sort of bravado, as it were. But
how did the final blow go? Talk me through that final moment.
Well, I was staring it down. It just burned my hand. I had to swap the what is the name of his Genesis? I can't remember. He says the name of his Genesis relic.
Right? Oh,
Yeah, it has an actual name. Lightning Storm Chaser, something like that.
Storm.
He says it correctly. Into my other hand and plunged it deep into the neck of the foul beast. Getting one last gasping roar before it collapsed onto the floor of the dusty chamber we stood in.
Right. Amazing. That's actually amazing. Well, just incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
It's a tale I've been telling for years, to be sure.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure your father would be incredibly proud to hear of that. Amazing. And I take it you yourself took the book as well as your prize.
No, I let your lot take it. I thought, consolation, I got the dragon kill, you can take the book. You know what it's like.
Right.
Teamwork and all that, camaraderie.
Very nice.
I was feeling bad about our previous antics, and I thought, you know what, we should make some amends here. It's like, you arrived at the same time, so share and share. Like, you know what it's like.
Teamwork and being magnanimous and sharing. That's exactly your forte. Yes.
What can I say? I had a change of heart as we were wandering around those dusty chambers. Like, no, we should be working together. I got the better of my senses.
Yes, good, yes. Yes, because, Baron, yes. If you ever do anything like that, ever again, you don't want to know what will happen to you.
Ooh, roll me an intimidation check.
God.
Actually, before you do that, just give me a second. Ryan, actually, I'd like you to do the roll I just said to you first, Ryan.
Oh, for fuck's sake, has Brass been following the whole time?
Yes. Ryan has been following you stealth. Brass has been following you stealth, and as you sort of make that intimidating statement, Chad, coming out of the shadows, Brass stands behind Baron, leaning over him. So, Brass, Chad, roll me intimidation with advantage, please.
Oh, God. Right, I'm glad that's with advantage.
You did say he was going to try and help.
You did?
There's a 16.
16, okay. Okay, yeah. You see as he sort of starts saying, like, the bravado is still there, and then he feels the hot breath of Brass behind him.
Yeah.
Great.
And sort of gets a little, like, weirdly sandwiched between the two of you.
Yeah.
No, of course not. Like I said, teamwork is, change.
That's fine. Enough said. Chad's gonna pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And say, have a very good day. And it's gonna walk away. Presumably with Brass.
You too.
Or if Brass is
I was gonna say Brass will totally misread the end of that your last sentence and just be like, or else.
Oh
my god!
But also,
you leave him. You put him in a bit of like a hallway or something. As you walk away, he's just standing still in that hallway for the time being. Like, he doesn't go anywhere until you leave. At least you leave the room. Amazing. Right. Unless there's anything else that people want to specifically do for today, I'm going to say we sort of jump ahead a bit. Several hours go by of doing investigation work and research, and I'd like to, this will kind of end it today, with a final investigation roll. So you can have anything you can add to this to investigate the prophecy.
Yes.
You'll have advantage because Christina and Tali, you are obviously working together, and also other people helping you. Depending on who has the higher investigation roll, you can pick who does it, or you can make 2 investigation rolls each. One each, sorry.
Sorry, so
any abilities you can add and stack to it.
So, I mean, Tali has a spoke with borrowed knowledge which she can cast, which would give her a plus for
Mhm.
the investigation, but I don't know if anybody has anything.
Christina,
higher
what
than
is
that.
your plus to investigation?
I think it's +7.
Plus
Oh,
7.
good.
Wow.
I think you should do it with
Yeah, I
Likely,
think I
yes.
don't know.
Can I put guidance? Do I have
Uh,
guidance? I don't know.
If you have
I do
guidance,
have
I'll-
guidance. Let's
yeah.
do that as well.
Then I will
So,
let you do that.
Gidonke. Also, Bevel has something.
wait.
can
can I
we do
cast
like
moral knowledge on somebody else?
Ooh.
I don't think I can.
No, it's you, Annie.
Guidance. Then.
I can wait. So Tali's not casting anything.
Hollywood has
casting guidance.
guidance on.
Guidance.
Yeah.
I do have guidance as well, but I suppose it doesn't pile up, obviously.
No.
So it's a
Okay, so-
D4.
Christina, please make me an investigation check with advantage and then add a d4 to that.
Rolled 13.
How much?
Rolled 24.
Oh, yes.
And then add the d4 on top, might as well.
2, so 26.
26.
Wow. That's a lot.
Excellent. It's one of these things where at first it seems like completely obstinate. Like you don't know what you're trying to do. It's a mess. There's a weird symbols over this page. There's like lines running through it. It is just this weird like scribblings of a mad woman, you presume. But little by little, as you start to kind of realize some things, it very quickly starts to flow. And actually, what you kind of suspected might take you all day actually starts to rapidly fall into place. You start to realize, oh, that symbol there, and you follow that line to this point here, and that makes that letter here. And you start writing it out. And between you and Tali and everyone helping you, you start to translate the message into what it is. And it also doesn't take long in the sense because, as kind of hinted by the name, it is only a small prophecy.
Is this the one specifically that comes after, like, the note about the eponymous heroes?
It is the one that includes that, yes.
Okay, yes.
I will put it in. I'll tell you what. I'll give it to you. I'll send it to you, Verity, and you can read it out to everyone.
Dun dun.
Put it in chat in a second. For us.
To the 7 eponymous heroes, I suggest they look back to their beginnings. That their story starts, shall they find the storied relics that they seek.
Okay.
7.
7
Yeah,
heroes.
7.
7.
7?
Wait.
I'm as big as 2 people, but
Lol. So there's 5 of us,
There's 5 of us.
plus who from the Squad of Misfits? Or plus
No,
the,
no one.
Well, the child.
the Chad and Helga.
Was Helga part of? We were never told.
the dog.
Spa.
Spa-
Very nice.
Hmm.
Interesting. Very
So-
interesting.
I'll say as Christina, I was like wondering. We have this whole squad of misfits to our disposal, and the end of the world is quite imperative to solve. So there's been this whole fight of like who's going on this big quest. But what's actually stopping us from splitting up and looking for clues? Like Scooby-Doo this.
Danger in general. No. No, it's good.
Feels like it's saying 7 heroes have to go and like do this quest or whatever. Also, Christina is not particularly like spiritual,
Hmm.
so it's like and the attitude of make our own destiny.
Hey.
So that's what I'm putting forth to the group.
Mhm.
More
I will say-
coherent. way.
I will say with the 26 investigation check, you don't think this is saying 7 heroes need to go on this journey. You're saying that
Each one of the relics comes from a place that is relating to the
you will
origins of all of
find
our
a relic in
characters,
the
yeah.
location of the 7 eponymous heroes. You can send as many people. Like, there's nothing saying you can't send more people against it
Oh, okay.
towards this. It's
Okay.
more and like to put the first thing that comes to mind. If you looked back to your beginning, Christina, you were born in South Costrand, near the city of Brenthus. You were given your Genesis relic in your hometown.
Mm.
But then the Baron also has a relic, so is he counted in the one of the 7?
Probably.
How many? There are 7. There are 7 Genesis
That's 7 relics.
We've already got his relic. We'll just take it. We don't need to go to where he grew up. Just kill him and take it.
Neat.
I will also add with, again, 26, because it's very high. You don't think Baron could be considered one of the eponymous heroes.
Yeah. So then why does he have a relic?
Dun dun dun.
Did he?
Nothing about
steal
this,
it?
Again,
nothing
bloody
about this
store.
suggests that other people can't have relics.
But there are only 7 relics.
It just says go to the 7 eponymous heroes beginnings and you will find the relics there.
Oh,
Where did the Baron grow up? Was it in same place as Chad?
No, he grew up in Angel Gates, which is a town to the sort of west of in Brattonshire.
wait, it's not about us. It's about the people before us. It's about Burchard and his party of...
Were
There was only 5 members of them, hence the 5 fellows.
Yeah, true.
Tyler, I'll let you roll an insight check quickly, since you're pondering this.
Yeah. Hold on. Can I guidance myself?
Yeah, sure.
Insight check.
Yeah.
No, hang on. That's that. Just insight. 13.
13. With
Yeah.
guidance?
Yep. That's
That's fine.
guidance.
I'll say it's enough to kind of get the thought process going. You don't have all the answers anyway, but you kind of like keep going back, like, to the eponymous heroes. If you are the eponymous heroes somehow, even though that you're 5 of you, not 7, you think this is about where you encounter them, and you have encountered Baron's Genesis relic in Dowbridge. The implication being that someone originated from Dowbridge,
Okay.
and you remember that Burchard grew up in Dowbridge.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Right.
So we only have there's only one person we don't know then. Because there's-
Again, if
yeah.
if it is talking about Burchard, which you're not 100% sure, but if you think that you know Christina found one where she grew up, you have encountered one where Burchard grew up.
Nice.
And she just says that. She just says, "Oh dear."
Yeah. Pebble is excited. It's like, yay, adventure. I don't know.
This is reminding Chad. This is Chad going, oh, right, now that could
Daddy!
fit in with my plans to have a bit of a hostile takeover going.
Nice.
What?
He's thinking that to himself.
Oh, I see. I
If
see.
he accidentally says any of that out loud, it wasn't an accident.
Sure.
On that note, I
And then
think
Tally is
we'll
more
make-
triggered.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think this is where we'll end today's session. So, when we pick up next session, you can
Interesting.
sort of have a little bit of a plan and think about what you have learned and how that actually applies to
Very
what
nice.
you need to do next. There's also other plot threads going on, like you still know that the Messers are doing something up in the Pridmore. They've still been, kidnapping dwarves and taking them up there. That
We
plot
still
line
have
you
to
can
give
come back
Burchard his
into.
medicine.
You have to give Pachard his medicine. There is the letter Chad sent off. Yeah.
In the classic
guys.
words of my myself when we were rehearsing improv comedy, the thick plottens. Sorry, I had to.
Thick plottens.
It's very
Ah,
selfish, I
thick
know, but
plottens.
it just lives in me. Yeah. Anyway,
Well, in the classic words of me while playing this game,
Very
running
nice.
this game, you guys will level up as well.
Yes!
Having completed this little story arc, making it back from the Labyrinth Librarian and unlocking the journey ahead, you will level up.
very nice.
Oh dear. Okay,
I'm immediately going to see what level 7 brings me.
Oh, level 7's an
Yes.
odd one, so I don't get actually any more.
That was a bit of a weird one, yeah. But
All the bees.
Oh, the bees!
all the
I
bees.
Bees!
a wizard.
I'm-
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you can look
try getting some ability to transmutate even more spells
Exciting.
to apply Brast's technique of web plus fire, but then the fire is not fire, it's something else. So
Will looks very excited by
Very
what's coming
effective.
next in his future.
Got some cool stuff. I've got some cool stuff.
So we can discuss that or reveal it in the future. We don't have to talk about it now. But anyway, yes. Ryan, who do you want to give the inspiration token to?
I think I'm going to
You
give
didn't
it.
use it, did you?
Did,
Yeah.
He did on his smell. His big,
Ah.
big sniffer thing.
No.
Like a big waft and got nothing.
Yes. The power of the
Big
waft.
useless sniff.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna give it to Tali.
Yeah, very well done.
I liked her being, or them being kind of rageful, but also like felt like that was a good impetus to like push this along with like a really nice pace to it as well, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I really like the aggressive help. Like it's like I'm gonna help, whether you like it or not. I
Let me
am
help
going
you!
to help.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
not in a nutshell, but no, thank you very much.
Yeah, nice.
Well deserved. Cool.
Very well deserved.
Cool. And to everyone who's watching us today, thank you for watching. I'll try that with actual real words. And to everyone watching,
It's easy for you to say.
thank you for watching us. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as we enjoyed playing it. If you did, you can catch us again here in 2 weeks' time at the same time. You can also follow us and turn on notifications to get a reminder when we go live. And if you want to watch our last session, that's now on YouTube. This episode will be on YouTube next weekend. You can also find us on Twitter at Smitey Games. And yeah, that's it. So we've been Small and Mighty. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.